All right, welcome back to the Sae Bae cast. Oh shit, is it number 9 or number 10 now? Because
Let's call it 9.5.
Sae Bae, well, fuck. Okay, the Sae Bae cast number 10. I'm just going to call it number 10. You know why? Cuz it's going to be a long one anyway. And we'll call it Bcguppy part 2. Sae Bae cast number 10, Bcguppy part 2. I think that you taking up 2 rambles, I think that's pretty cool. Like first
I
guest to
think
take
that's awesome.
yeah.
What a treat that would be. Even if I wasn't on the cast and I saw there was two Sae Bae casts in a week, I'd be like, oh damn, it's time to like get that nightmare grinded because I got something to listen to.
Yeah. I think it's worth just going straight to 10. The 9.5 will just confuse people, I feel like. Well, so will the 10, but who
Yeah, it
cares?
really will.
It's going to confuse somebody regardless. But
Sae Bae cast number 10,
yep.
Electric Round 2 Electric Boogaloo featuring Bcguppy.
Anyway, if you guys didn't notice, I am wearing this new prayer outfit. This is the Zealots outfit. So Zealots helm, Zealots robe top, Zealots robe bottom, and Zealots boots. And I want to bring up real quick. This literally just came out this morning. The Shades of Mort'ton rework. I already talked about it in my ramble, so I'm not going to go into the details of it. But I want to hear Bcguppy's thoughts on it. He just woke up a little bit ago. He hasn't done it, I'm assuming. And
Yeah, I kind of just woke up. I just saw like the first thing I see when I wake up is like people are getting the new prayer robes. Like there's a new update for the Shades of Morton, which is cool by the way. Like that content really needed to be addressed. It was I don't want to say it was dead content. Like I mean, Ironmen were still going out there to get their Amulet of the Damned or whatever for their clue steps and yeah, I just woke up basically saw that the update was today, and I don't really know much about it. I know like Swamp Bark's been like pulled like ages ago, and it feels like it's only just now like finally being added to the game. But yeah, I don't know much about it, but yeah, I know Sae Bae here, he does know about it now. At this point, he's already gone and delved into the content, and he
yeah.
yeah, do you want to talk about that a bit more?
Yeah, I didn't actually talk about like kind of doing the content. It's pretty. I mean, it's the same old Shades of Morton. The way you so the new keys are not silver; they're gold. So the gold ones kill the Urium or whatever shades. The new ones that are level 140, and it's the same exact thing you do. You just get your sacred oil, basic same way. Nothing's changed at the actual like shrine. Um, then you go down there, and then you can kill some fire shades. And then when you burn the fire shades, now you have a chance of getting a gold key. But you still get silver keys, but you have a rare chance of getting not rare, just uncommon of getting a gold key. And then that gold key will open up the area to kill the Urium shades. And then you basically just do the same thing as you did previously, where you just kill a bunch of Urium shades, use redwood logs. This time it has to be redwood logs with the sacred oil, and then you burn them, and then you start opening the chests down there. And the chest area is just a lot nicer. It's all in one big square room, and it's not like you need to go through like those little 4 compartments like it used to be, um, or like 5 compartments. I don't even know, but
Yeah, it was annoying. You had to like examine the lock
yeah,
to see what color they were. And
it's pretty streamlined now, and it's very nice. And
what do you think of the new dungeon?
I think it looks
Like the
great.
look of it?
They have these little like something that kind of bothers me, and we kind of talked about it, was I love the medieval look of the game. I think a Coldman and I really touched on it, but I really love the medieval look of the game. And when they start making everything kind of look more cartoony, it kind of bothers me a little bit. It's not that bad, but it kind of bothers me. So they have these torches there, and they're the torches with the like salts, those like F salts, test salts or whatever.
Yeah.
They look like those, just that weird triangle flame, and it's just things look a little cartoony, but that's just kind of how the game's being designed nowadays. Like even
Yeah,
the
we're
outfits.
at that weird like the old school RuneScape backup, the backup from 2007 RS2, like it was sort of in that transition stage between like
Yeah, it
you had
really
that
was.
RS like that super medieval seeming environment in 2003, 2004, and then as the years went on, like around the 2007 mark, we were starting to get some really cartoony stuff like think like I think one of the latest quests to come out right before the backup was made was Grim Tales. Like you can look and just see like how goofy some of the stuff is in that quest. Like the boss fight, Glod, like you can tell that the game was like a mishmash of medieval themes
Yeah,
and like more cartoony themes, and that's sort of stuck around with old school RuneScape as well.
it really has. We definitely have a mixture of it just everywhere. But the new stuff that's coming out is kind of making that mixture kind of fade away. It's getting a lot more cartoony now, but there still is those classic gems everywhere. Just you see those
Oh yeah.
doors that look like fucking. You zoom up on them and you can just see the big fat pixels, and it just looks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know you were
love it.
talking about that.
Love that.
The the super high res doors.
Yeah, I love those. But you guys weren't even seeing my game. I was just showing the little outfits in my bank. But yeah, so I got the swamp bark and blood bark. So basically the rewards are there's that new key for the chest, or the for the where is that thing at? This thing, the coffin. You can wear a coffin on your back now, and it can hold fire shades, or it can hold all shades. It can hold 28 of them. So now when you're down there killing them, you don't need to teleport out as often. You can like hold an additional 28, which is pretty insane. And then there's the prayer outfit. People are speculating it's about 1 in 100. I'm not sure about that per piece. I spooned it if so. And then they have those tomes that you get, and those tomes are basically like prayer scrolls where you read them, and then you can learn how to make blood bark and swamp bark armor. And then they have the fine cloth, which is still how you make that. And then, but now you can craft your own split bark, which is really cool. You can just use a needle and thread with a piece of bark from a hollow tree in Mauritania, and then use the fine silk with it. It's really
I
cool.
really like that addition.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, that's pretty much. It was just really exciting opening the chest and you get amulets of the damned, and now there's like these zombies that can spawn. So every like 15, I think it was, like chests that I opened, there was like just this really low level zombie that would appear, and you just kill it, and it drops these weird bones. I'm not sure if they do anything. They look like normal bones. They're just called something else. I don't know if they're important or not.
I read up on that on the game update, and you're supposed to like use the bones on an altar to charge it, so you can pray at the altar or whatever. But
Wait, really?
yeah, I don't know if
Okay.
that's relatively useful or not.
Interesting. Bleached bones. That's what they're called. Well, I saved them, so we'll see what they do. Yeah, I'm not sure what those do yet. I'm still unaware what the outfit effects are. I know basically what they do. Do you know if the swamp bark armor is making it so just the bind spells are getting longer, or is it ice barrage
It
too?
it's just Entangle. God, imagine if it was Ice Barrage, like 30-second freezes, dude. Uh, and it wouldn't even make sense. Like Swamp Bark is supposed to be like you imbue Split Bark with like nature runes at the nature altar,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's got
that's
like that
true.
sort of naturey theme going for it. And Entangle is it's like a root. It's not a freeze. You root your opponent to the ground.
That's true. That's true.
So the it's just meant to buff Entangle.
I guess I was just surprised because I didn't understand that ice barrage was a 19-second freeze. It's
Yeah,
32
apparently it
ticks.
was 19.2.
2. Yeah, 19.2 it says here. I had no idea. I thought it was 15 for the longest time.
Do you know how long Entangle is
Yeah,
with the
so
new outfit?
it says entangle right here. I'm looking at it was 24 ticks, 14.4 seconds. Now it's 29 ticks with the full outfit, which is 17.4 seconds. So,
So it's still not quite up to like Ice Barrage's
yeah,
level.
not quite, but it's still good if you're using like, a harmonized staff out there PKing with Tome of Fire. You can just quickly switch on your Swamp Arc or whatever, just already be wearing it. You get longer freezes. We'll see though. Probably for I don't even know. And then the blood bark. This is the confusing part. Blood bark says, where is it? It says that it will buff ancient blood spell effects: blood rush, burst, blitz, and barrage. And then it says it'll also give you an increased heal percentage of 1.5% per piece equipped, with a full set bonus of 32.5% hit points restore. What does that even mean?
So Blood Barrage or not just Blood Barrage, but all the blood spells. They give you healing. It's 25% of what you hit. So if you hit like an 8, you heal 2. And with this set, it's 32.5% of what you hit instead.
Oh.
So it's almost like 1 in 3. If you hit a 3, you heal a 1.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. You explained that very well. I was so
well,
confused.
I'm glad.
I was seeing like the end. I was like, set bonus of 32.5% hit points restore. I was thinking it was like you're passively like healing from wearing the out. Or like I was so confused. I thought like just wearing it was giving you like a higher just natural hit point restore. I'm so confused. I was tired when I was reading that. Thanks for explaining that. That was confusing.
No problem. No problem.
But okay, yeah, and that was pretty much it. And then they have the tournament worlds open to test the buffs and stuff. But yeah,
how many blood runes did it cost for the full set of Blood Bark?
it was 500 plus it was. Let me see. It was 500 for body and leg, so 1,000, 1,250. It was 1,450, I think. Yeah, I think it was 1,450 total for the whole.
1,450?
Yeah.
Holy
like
shit,
1,450.
Blood runes are already precious enough. Like I do not want to make that outfit. I do not think I could ever make any use of it.
Yeah, I mean, I made it because it looks. I mean, 1,450 just in case you. Yeah, it's not that bad.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
I do like the look of it.
I'll never use it, but like it's just cool to have, I guess.
I think just from a PvMer's perspective, like the problem with it is that for the full set you need like the helm and the gloves, which is like a big deal breaker because you can't use the Slayer helm and you can't use the Torn bracelet with this.
I mean,
you could still use like 1 or 2 pieces, but I don't think it's ever going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's just strange. They're very niche, but both of them are very niche. And like, where in any PvM situation do you ever use bind spells? It would be really cool if you could bind the parasite in Nightmare, so it can't heal.
Like you had actual magic accuracy. That would be nice.
Or yeah, I mean that, but I just wish you could freeze the parasite with a bind spell. Because if you're gonna be on the standard spellbook anyway, it'd just be really cool to be able to bind the parasite, so you could strategically run to the other side of the room where Nightmare isn't, and then bind the parasite when it pops out of you, and then you can just like focus on the pillars kind of, and it can't do anything.
That would be really cool,
like something like that. But they've made it so it's immune.
The parasite has more magic defense than it deserves. Like it's just a little tiny, like low-level parasite, and the thing's pretty tanky to mage. Like if you've tried to surge that before, even with a harmonized staff, you just splash a lot.
Yeah, it's strange.
And good luck hitting it at all if you're not bringing like full ancestral, like a full mage switch. Because
if you're wearing like Inquisitor's pieces like I do now, I wear.
You're not hitting. Yeah, you're not hitting.
Yeah. And apparently it's immune to any freezing too. Like you can't freeze it.
Okay, I did not know that. That is really dumb. Like you can't even ZGS it?
Nope. It's immune to being frozen. So that's why I was talking about like the binding. It would just be cool if the parasite could be bound.
Shoutouts to arbitrary restrictions of just things just mysteriously not working. Like I remember you bitching that you couldn't use Vengeance on Nightmare. Like why? That's so dumb that you can't use Vengeance on Nightmare. It's just arbitrary restrictions like that. Like I'm really not a fan of it. Like stuff like Venenatis and Callisto just straight up immune to magic. Like you cannot do any damage. But you can still vulnerability Callisto. So shoutouts to all of you Ironmen out there using alts to lure Callisto to a safe spot for you and getting like 50 kills an hour. Just using vulnerability, luring it on an alt while you're just sitting there AFKing it.
Yeah, you know what? I always thought how cool it would be if Nightmare, if you could use a Ring of Suffering there, so you're getting past it. Like if you could like get that recoil effect, and you could get.
Oh, it'd be so nice.
I don't even think it does recoil damage. Yeah, I don't think you can do any recoil or any vengeance. And I always thought how cool it would be to get a vengeance, like get into like an 80-man team and just vengeance down Nightmare like big time, just doing huge fucking hit spots. Like
On that topic, I'm a bit sad that the scaling for Nightmare, like the item drop rates are so scuffed. Like you
so
literally just
scuffed.
basically can't get uniques in an 80 man. Like it's not feasible at
Yeah,
all.
it's just
The
stupid.
drops are way too
They
rare.
don't
Like why not just if you're gonna make the unique scale so like shittily, then just like delete all the HP scaling. Like if you wanna
exactly.
like two hit Nightmare with your 80 friends and like have like 1 minute kills and like go for it.
Dude, thank God you have the same like I swear, man, scaling. Okay, first of all, I'm against scaling. I realize that because of Nightmare. I'm against scaling in basically everything now because of Nightmare. Like, I understand where scaling works sometimes, but seriously, I got to the point where I was like, dude, if they just got rid of scaling bosses in every situation, that would be awesome. Imagine, like, Nightmare. Okay, first of all, TOB, for example. Why is TOB scaled down? So if you're in a 5 man, it's scaled to a 5 man, 4 man, 4 man, 3 man, 3 man, and then it doesn't go any lower than that. So if you're going to make it scale, at least scale it down to a 1 man. And if you're not going to scale it, just make all the scaling based around like a 3 man, for example. Because then if you actually did a 5 man team, it's actually worth it because you're just going through there quicker, you know?
Yep.
And it's,
Uh,
yeah.
or would you even go so far as to remove the player like the team size limit at top?
Um, Depends. Like I don't know what it would exactly do. The thing with Nightmare, I know for a fact with Nightmare, just get rid of make every single time it be a 1 in 100 drop rate and make all the HP the same. If you want to run in there with 50 people, you are just fucking annihilating it. Phases go by in like 5 seconds, you know.
I
But
agree.
but then you
I
still
think
have a
that'd be
one in
great.
1 in 100 chance, or you have a 1 in 5,000 chance to get a drop in your name. So that's the off. That's exactly how Corp works, and that's beautiful. Like, in fact, Corp's even more unfair because you have to have done the most damage to get the drop. At least in Nightmare, you can have a chance at any damage you do, basically. So like, old school bosses have always been that way, where there is no scaling. You can go into God Wars with 20 people and just fuck the boss up, never take any damage, but you're gonna the natural the natural drop rate is going to, like, you know, and the respawn time is going to hurt you the most. I don't
I
know.
wish there was more bosses in the game that were mass friendly because I think masses are really cool. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen? Okay, so wilderness bosses again. Like, I'm just using them as an example because they're so shitty. Wilderness bosses, well, they were meant to be like group bosses on release, but have you seen like what happens in like a Venenatis mass where you have to have like your whole team luring Venenatis to singles? Like, you can't just like surround Venenatis' spawn and just hit it immediately as soon as it spawns because you'll do no damage because of the weird ass single combat
Oh
damage
yeah, what's up
reduction.
with that?
Like it's just so mass unfriendly because you just have to have your whole team basically literally death dotted in multi. Like and then what happens when a PKR just comes in and ice barrages the whole mass?
Yeah.
Like what okay. Why is there a damage reduction at Venenatis in singles? Like why? What it
Nobody
would be so
fucking
much better
knows.
if you could literally just attack it on a spawn. Like, you know,
It's
you
bad.
have anything to say on that?
I All I know is that I have a clip of me raging because I didn't understand at the time because I was so angry. I didn't understand Venenatis had lured itself back into singles. And so I am hitting zeros, ones, twos, and threes. That's all I could hit. It's like this
That's
huge
frustrating.
reduction. And so I was sitting there and I was taking 50s to the face nonstop over and over and over. And I was just trying to finish the kill. Venenatis had like 5% health. I'm just like, okay, just finish the goddamn kill. I hit like 30 zeros in a row. Just couldn't do anything. I was fully potted, cannon, everything. Could not kill it. And then I eventually just died again. Like, that was like the second death. I just fucking left. I just like ran out of my room. I
So
was
dumb,
just so
dude.
fucking pissed. And like, I don't understand it. Why is that even a thing? If somebody, because I understood that that's how Venenatis worked, but imagine like you're a normal player. Where is that ever said? Like, where in the game would you ever just assume, oh yeah, if it crosses this arbitrary tile, now it can't be damaged? Basically, like some
You know what's
average
wild? I
player
think
goes
I
out
think
there.
that's I think that literally is in the game, but it's in the weirdest, or well, not the weirdest. It makes sense, but it's in one of the most obscure spots. I think if you get assigned a Venenatis task, they mention like you have to lure it into multi
Oh
combat or something, otherwise
really?
it won't
Wow.
deal. much damage. Yeah, isn't that crazy? But I mean, like, when are you gonna get a Venenatis task? Like if you were gonna kill Venenatis on task, like you're gonna do it from like a spider task, and you're not gonna get that info anywhere. Like like they uh they really hide the info from you.
Yeah,
So if you're a new
Jesus
player,
Christ. Yeah.
like imagine like the 2007 mentality where you don't look at the wikis, or you just
Yep.
go in and like you learn stuff for yourself. Like people have to figure out that weird ass arbitrary shit at Venenatis. It's just I don't like stuff like that.
Me
Like
neither.
just if Jags really wants to make Veni multi by like making you lure into multi, like just extend the multi line a
Yeah.
little bit so that
Just let
like
it
Venenatis'
spawn in
spawn is
multi.
halfway in multi and halfway in singles, so you can still kill it in singles if you want.
Yeah. Well, why would you ever kill it in singles though? That's the question. You can't.
Well,
Like, what is the reason why there even is a singles? Do people actually go into singles? I mean, besides that weird crossbow method where you can have it in multi and you in singles, but like, does anybody ever actually kill it in singles?
well, not while there's the damage
Yeah.
reduction effect being applied.
So what was the point of ever having it in singles in the first place? Like, why? Why is Venenatis spawn in singles?
It's so
Did they
strange.
just fuck
It's
it
so
up and then
strange.
made that arbitrary restriction and just didn't change the root problem of it, like that it spawns in singles? Like, I don't
I feel
understand it.
like Jagex, like they just had no tools at the time when those
Yeah.
wildy bosses were made. They just were like, oh, by the way, moving a multi-line is engine work. Like I could just picture them on the Q&A like back in like 2014. Like, all right, sorry guys, this is
Yeah.
how it is.
It's like
You're gonna have to deal with it.
it's not even that. It's just move Venenatis over to the multi line. Like why? Like what is?
Even that would be like, it would be a simple solution. It wouldn't even require engine work or
I
anything
don't
like
know.
that. Like, there's no conceivable reason
It's
that
so
that couldn't have been
strange.
done.
And then Callisto bothers me that you can't. It's immune to any magic.
Yep. Except for vulnerability, but that's another thing.
I really wish the Thamarins Scepter had a use, and it was. I almost kind of wish it was a charge staff, and then it was good against Callisto or something. But
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah, like just anything to make that stupid staff like useful in some way would be cool.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like
I have no idea what you would even do to fix it though. Like uh like I did some DPS calcs on Chaos Ellie, and you can't use the scepter because it's really accurate. But you need like max mage to do it, and good luck bringing max mage into the wilderness.
yeah, no, it's the same thing with lava dragons. Technically, the best DPS against lava dragons is max mage with uh actually I think a harmonize out damages it now. But it used to be a Thamarins Scepter was I'm not actually sure what the DPS difference of a Thamarins and a harmonized staff. I'm pretty sure harmonized staff's just better though. Just because it has
Yeah, that tick speed
yeah.
increase is crazy busted.
Yeah, but
I uh I don't know how you would fix the Marin Scepter. Like you'd have to make it really good to the point where it's worth bringing those like that Revenant Ether into the wilderness. Like you have to make it like crazy good compared to like a Trident or a Sang, which is completely risk free.
yeah, nah, they
You have to really make it worth it.
I almost feel like they would just have to make it a charge staff and it just shoots out ether. Like ether's
That'd
the
be
thing.
cool.
You wouldn't even use runes, but that would be the only way. But then people would complain that it's no risk besides just the ether. But that's the other two weapons. The only risk is just the ether. Why not make it just a charge thing where you just shoot these ether balls out of it and it's good
It's
against
a fair
lava
amount of
dragons.
ether that you have to risk too. Like the minimum amount you can put in
Yeah,
a weapon at the start is 1,000.
yeah. I mean, there still is risk, and I think that would just be perfect because, and then make that good against Scorpia and lava dragons. Boom. Now you have a weapon that actually has a use because right now it's just crossbow lava dragons or trident them. Like,
Do you have all three of the rev weapons?
yeah.
That is nice, dude. I'm jealous. I basically can't get those weapons now, in the current state of rev caves.
Why do you say
I know
that?
killing revs are nice, but and you can actually kill them self-sufficiently on an iron, which you could not do
Oh yeah.
previously. Like you needed the cartel to
Yep.
protect you.
Not even
But
to
yeah, like the
protect you.
drop
You
rates
just
are
needed
just
it to
like
kill
crazy
them.
hard.
Like you needed it to not get fucked up. It wasn't even like protection. It was just you need them so they
Yeah.
don't fuck you up. Like, yeah.
You gotta pay the mafia
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
protection money.
I'm very glad that grind's over. I'll never get it in my collection log. Like, my collection log will always just be empty because there's no way I'm going back to like get those.
Yeah, you know how I feel with like 80% of the bosses in the game that I've already finished.
Yep.
Like because
Fuck the
my
collection
account
log.
is so old. Like I've long since finished stuff like Cerberus. Like just maybe I'll go back for like a pet hunt in the future. But yeah, like the collection log. That in itself is a whole nother topic we could discuss. Is how the collection log doesn't retroactively apply
Mod Rock
certain stuff.
randomly said, somebody asked, and Mod Rock's answer was there were items that were illegally obtained at one point for Ironmen, and that would ruin the collection log. What the fuck did that even mean? Like, he literally said that. There was like items that Ironmen got, like basically through bug abuse, it sounded like, and that if you could just use those items, then it would ruin. Like, I was so confused, and that was his answer. He just moved on. Like, the real answers, I think it just comes down to competition with mains. That mains would just freak the fuck out if Ironmen were able to have all these free items in their collection log, and mains had to work for them because there's no way for mains to be able to use an item on it.
Retroactively
Yeah.
apply stuff, yeah.
So I think that was the only reason, is that it's unfair for mains, even though Ironmen
That's
arguably
such a
have it
funny
way
thing to
harder.
say. Like how the tables have turned.
Yeah,
It's unfair for mains now.
I know. It's so silly when they're like, the game caters to Ironmen. It's like, dude, the game fucking caters to everyone, okay? Like, the game caters toward mains way more than it ever caters towards like irons. Like, I know the game gets easier, but it gets easier for everybody. And so like when people like freak out and say Iron Man update or something, it's like, dude, there are so many. There are, like,
Actually, okay, you know what? On that topic, I have a topic from a friend that I want to get to like right now, like
go
while
for it.
we're on the Iron Man thing. So Layden asks, "Stop catering to irons. You decided to be wheelchairs." So so we're already talking about this basically, where like there are people that complain like, oh, Iron Man is a challenge game mode. We shouldn't be cater. You chose to limit yourself. Uh, but like at the beginning, Iron Man was definitely like a challenge game mode. Like it was fresh at the time.
Yep.
Like rewind all the way back to 2014, where the game mode's just out and you have like these big these big RuneScape streamers like Bodhi, Wooks, uh, going on Iron Man, like, or I don't know if Bodhi was on Iron because I know he did his one man army series. I don't know if he ever like did Iron Man on release, but I know Wooks did because Wooks kind of like got me into the game. I think a few days before I even made my old RuneScape account, I was watching Wooks soloing Bandos on his Iron Man. And
Wow.
like I just looked at that, I'm like, wow, this game actually takes skill. Like maybe this is something I want to get into, so that I could also be as good at the game as him. Um, that is another topic entirely, but yeah, like the Iron Man used to be a challenge game mode. I don't really think people consider it as a challenge game mode anymore. I think people more see it as a play style than anything else. Uh, maybe Ultimate Iron Man is now the challenge game mode. But Iron Man is more of a play style these days, and it is a very sizable chunk of the player base. Like you can't add updates and then just say like, oh, whoops, we forgot Iron Man exists.
Yeah.
Sorry, this doesn't cater to you. Like,
It's just hard, like, going on that topic, like, it's hard to even, I can't even have a real proper argument because I've never really tried to like word it properly, but I do
address it.
yeah, like I have never had to address it. So it's just kind of this thing where people say, "Oh, Iron Man get updates that are catered toward them." But it's like, dude, there are updates that come out specifically for mains that fuck up Iron Man mode. For example, Chaos Altar. In theory,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just a nice way to save money on bones and go out in the wilderness and risk saving money. But Iron Man fucked the game mode up like big time. Because now it's, you don't do prayer anywhere else. You do it in the wilderness and it's double. It's double time, basically. It's like you're literally, it is just so busted. It's the same thing with like bounty hunter stuff that comes out. What are you going to do if you're just going to ignore? If the argument is just ignore Ironmen and make the game revolved around mains and then let Ironmen just do whatever is in the game, like Bounty Hunter and shit comes out, and then there's like Ironmen abusing that, where it's just like, where do you draw the line? So I'm like, these are obviously there's updates that come out, for example, like Sandstone Grinder. The game is catered toward Ironmen in certain ways, and that's because a lot of the community's Ironman now. But like, there's so many things. Like when the game first came out, if you really didn't want to cater toward Ironman mode would have been so busted, because you have to cater toward Ironman in a way that nerfs Ironman. Because the same way you would buff Ironman, you have to cater toward Ironman to nerf it. It's like those, when everyone used to hop charters for crafting, it used to be like you could just sell shit on your main over to it. And then
That was so dumb.
yeah, like you could do that kind of shit, and they had to address it, and that's catering toward Ironman as an update. They're taking dev time to fix that, and so it goes both ways, where they have to make nerfs and buffs for Ironman. They don't have to make any buffs, but
Going on a little tangent here. So you used to be able to sell stuff on your main to shops, right?
yeah,
To like buy on your iron. Did you know that actually still exists in some places in the game?
yeah. In fact, I checked out one. There's the Arceus General Store, I think, sells 50 blood runes. They're fucking expensive as hell, but that is a shared shop. That's like, I think, the last shop that you can actually sell and buy bloods over to from a main.
I didn't know about that general store. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
But I wanna teach you something that I learned like very recently. Do you know the Adventurer's Supply shop in Narda?
No. I don't think I've ever been there.
So that shop, it's known for selling a rune chain, a rune plate legs, and a rune plate skirt. And the interesting thing about that shop is that it buys those items for over high elk price, like the old Karamja store did.
Really?
But the problem is that first of all, this shop is not instance for like irons and mains, so they all share the same stock, and like there's so many bots that sell to that store, uh, and every time someone sells a rune chain to like the to this store, they do get over high elk for it, but that rune chain basically stays in the shop for like 2 hours. So
Jesus Christ.
what you can do, and I don't know if this is worth it to some people, but you can unethically like you can buy those rune chains
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
on a main and then sell them to your iron. So you buy all three of the rune items on your main until they're all one in stock, and then you sell one of each on your iron if you have like rune chains on you, like rune plate skirts, and then you just repeat, like you just buy those items you just sold on your iron on your main,
How much more
and
is it
then
though? Is it only like 5 or 10%, or is it like significantly more?
it's so I think high elk is 60% of an item's value, and I believe this shop is 65%.
Okay.
So if you were to like unethically sell your rune chains and do this like without, you don't even have to hop worlds or anything. You just buy
Yeah,
all the
you would just
stuff
click against, or just shift
onto your
click
main. Yeah,
basically.
you're making like pretty good GP per hour. Like I think this is something that maybe low level irons would do if they had a lot of like rune chains somehow, or like some weird route where they rush, mining and smithing, and then
Yeah.
they have like 99 mining super early, and they have a bunch of rune ore from other mine. They can just make like a whole bunch of rune skirts and rune legs, an equal amount, and then sell them to the store. Granted, it
Interesting.
costs a fortune for your main, because your
Oh
main
yeah, no,
is buying all those items for like extortionate prices.
yeah, no, it was the same thing where, like, I think the Rogue's Den, I think if you have 99 thieving, I think it's shared between mains and irons.
That's true.
Um,
That's correct.
and so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to sell 5 air battle staves, or whatever I have a huge chunk of, sell 5, buy 5, sell 5, buy 5 on my main and on my Iron Man, and just do it super fucking quick. Like, just spam back and forth, sell 5, buy
That'd be
5.
an insanely fast way to liquidize
Oh
items. I
yeah,
had no
but it's
idea that you could do that there.
it's extremely expensive, because that goes for high alc price for anything you sell there. Obviously, if you sell 5, it's about 93%, but it's like, if you can liquidize an
5x
entire
speed.
thing, but you would have to have a bank or a main that's filthy rich though, because you're buying air battle saves for like nearly 20k, I think, once they're sold there for like only 9k. So it's a big waste. But if you were seriously dedicated to just Ironman only and you had unlimited money on your main, that's a really good way to just clear out items very fucking quick.
Stuff like that needs to get fixed. Like, oh, like it definitely needs to get fixed. The fact that that trade-off even exists is really silly.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, now we're talking about like Iron Man morals and like what the game modes turn into nowadays. But like back when Iron Man first came out, they were so harsh on like they really didn't want even the slightest things abused
Oh
on Iron
yeah.
Man. It was such a protected game mode at the time. Like people were getting de-ironed for like buying gems.
Yeah. No,
Like
and it's just sad. Like
they actually monitored stuff like that back then.
when did it
Now that
stop?
nowadays, like look at what's going on in the catacombs. Look at what's going on at Corp Nightmare.
Dude, people used to
It's out of control.
people used to flame Lowlander for alting on his iron to
Oh
get
yeah,
God War
oh
stuff.
yeah.
Dude, every fucking person alts now. It's just like crazy. It's just silly that everyone hated him so much for doing that, but now everyone just fucking does that. And now it's getting to the point where people are screaming that they don't want it to be taken away from them. Because like no, like seriously. And I understand where they're coming from because now they enjoy the game with alting, and I can imagine why, because it makes the game fucking easier. People say, "Oh, it's more challenging to have an alt." It's only challenging to get an alt to that level, but as soon as you have it, it makes the whole game way fucking easier and better XP rates, like in almost every situation. So it's like using an alt, the argument is it's more effort, more reward, but it's really not more effort. More effort is fucking manually throwing darts at your neck reels and then running over and over and trying to burst them. That's more effort, and it's tedious as fuck. And that was
Oh yeah.
that was the original intention of Iron Man mode. It's a tedious game mode. You have to do everything yourself, and yeah, like fucking hop charters. You want to get your crafting level up? Go fucking hop charters and compete with a bunch of people like that are going to do it. Like that was Iron Man used to be so beautiful when it was like about being a solo game mode, and now it's just people. It's just crazy because everyone alts nowadays. It feels like, well, not everyone.
Jagex just lets people do whatever they want nowadays.
Yeah.
Just like they cater to irons maybe a bit too much now. Like they just let shit like this fly. Just like to make people like I don't know, like stay with the game more.
I don't know.
I used to be a hardcore no alting at all. And then I found something really dumb. Like the thing that got me into alting, and I don't alt like everything. I'm not a hardcore alter even right now, but the thing that got me into alting was so I killed a whole bunch of Orcath and I had a whole bunch of like all the different colors of dehydes, right? And I needed to tan them. And the best way to tan dehydes is in the crafting guild.
Yep.
But the dumb thing is, I'd already know you know about this,
Yeah.
but that tanner in the upstairs of the crafting guild, like that little room, like that tanner can seriously like it can be like in the corner of the room and it takes like a year to get to because you have to go around all of this like random shit in the room. Or it could be right at the staircase. So you go up the staircase, you tan, you instantly go back down if the tanner is there. And it's incredibly simple just to have an alt, like literally fresh off of Tutorial Island. Like you just sign up, make an account, get a bond, and then you go
A brown
get like
apron.
40 crafting. You just have to cut like a whole bunch of gems,
Get-
and you just bring an alt in there. You have it talk to the tanner so that it doesn't randomly like wander around, and you just have your alt just sitting there,
Yep.
just doing nothing.
And the tanner
Fresh off
stays
of
there
Tutorial
forever.
Island, like takes 30 minutes to set up, straight from account creation, mind you, and yeah, it keeps the tanner right at the staircase, and it just expedites the
It's
process.
painful as hell to not do that. And I
It's
again I
awful.
say like I'm not a perfect example of alting. I've used alts like I use alts for that. I use alt. Well, I used to pay people a mill for a dragon impling. So I'd have all these people scouting dragon implings, and I'd pay them a mill off my other account to take it. Like I'm not a perfect example, but I'm saying like, and again, I'm not going to be a perfect example if nothing gets changed because the same thing with Corp. I'm not going to do that solo if I can save 700 hours potentially by using two alts basically like.
Exactly.
And so if they do something about it, I feel like the majority of people will actually be okay with it because as long as everybody has to do that, it kind of makes it feel like, okay, this is now the way. But that doesn't even have to be as a competitive standpoint. It's just the fact of if somebody else can do this in an easier way with using an alt, I'm going to start doing it. And then everyone's starting to do it. But if somebody didn't do it, it's like, oh well, I'm not going to do it because it's probably against the rules, and let's just let me not do that. So it's like it's not all about competition where oh this is going to save you time. It's like it's just
It would be nice if even if just on the Jagex code of conduct, actually that's not it. Maybe not against the rules, but just have it so like if you were like alting, you have a chance to get de-iron. Like just have some sort of statement by Jagex saying, okay, if you're alting, then we might ban you, and that would ward off a lot of people
oh
from
yeah.
alting stuff, and just letting the little things like the crafting guild Tanner go would be fine, I think. Uh, but yeah, like when it gets out of control and you have two alts specking court for you, it 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 uh it really makes you question like why you're playing Iron Man in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a self-sufficient game mode. Like what you're doing essentially is just like it has nothing to do with the game mode that you're playing,
It's so sad that we've
and
gotten to this
I think
point
it's a
where
problem.
it's actually you're arguing with other Ironmen that are there's legitimately Ironmen, and I'm friends with them. Like I'm not. This isn't something to like ruin a friendship over, but there's seriously Ironmen that are seriously pissed at me for advocating that we get rid of Ironman alting because they play the. That's just how they play the game now, and they do everything with alts. And if they take away that, that's like taking away their fun. And I understand that because I related it. I already related it in a previous Sae Bae cast to tick manipulation. People could argue, oh, that's a bug and it shouldn't be in the game, but I love it. And if you remove that charm from the game, I'd fucking probably like think of quitting because just getting rid of the game and making everything like Winter Todd and everything like Zolcano would just be the most depressing thing ever. And getting rid of alts is something I kind of can relate it to that, where I don't want to take away people's fun, but at the same time, an Iron Man is supposed to be a self-sufficient game mode. Like, Jesus Christ, why are we like arguing over this? We literally signed up for Iron Man to play a self-sufficient game mode. Just sad.
It's become a lot more casual these days,
And then there's people
and
like using services on their account, no punishments
that's a
whatsoever.
whole nother topic entirely. Like I really don't get that mentality at all. Like why do people like pay to have grinds done for them? Like why not just I don't know, not play the game?
That's what they're
Like
doing, not playing the game, getting shit done.
true, that is true. Uh but yeah, like you don't play or how do I want to phrase this? Like, the grind is the game in RuneScape, I feel. And if you remove that grind, then like you remove the game. Like you have nothing to really like I don't know, look forward to. Like you're not doing something like imagine you're just getting into the game for the first time and you're just like training fishing and you're looking on the wiki while you're just AFK fishing like oh wow, look at all these bosses, dude. Like look at Tizcal's, holy crap, he's got a combo level of 1400. He's such a badass. Like I wonder if I'll ever someday kill it. Like like you don't have those things to look forward to if you can just like all right, I'm just going to buy a max main account. Like and then you just go and do it. Like there's no build up to it, right?
Yep.
Like there's no progression at all, and that progression is what validates the rest of the game. It what puts everything relative to each other.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that account sharing was always technically against the rules. I mean, they would say we do not suggest you account share. I can't quote the like terms of service or whatever, but it's basically like don't account share. And if you do, like you're risking your fucking account 'cause it might get stolen and other shit like that. But now it's just, oh, you can account share as long as you're not competing. And now it's getting to the point where you can basically compete and account share. Like there's people that are going for post 99 XP using services. But as long as they're not in like, the top 200 or something, the 200 mil all, they're not technically competing because there's, who cares? So what's the definition of competing? What's the definition of account sharing? What's the definition of buying an infernal cape? If infernal
The
cape
Infernal
buying,
Cape argument is
so stupid.
is probably the strongest, I feel. I really agree with you there where like why do they have such a special stance on Infernal Capes like and then just like the rest of the game like completely like okay, like you can have your friend do stuff for you, but if it's the Inferno, oh no, that's our that was like a more
That's the
recent
line,
update that
yeah.
we want to like police and make sure people aren't having their friends get Infernal Capes because we want an Infernal Cape to show that you're a gamer. Like, what are they gonna do with combat achievements, dude? Like,
Yep. Everything has to be
are
on
they
that
gonna
level.
do any sort of banning on account sharing in that case? Because like you like services are gonna pop off having people doing Grandmaster
Oh
challenges
yeah.
for each
No,
other.
and that's the thing. Where are you going to draw the line this time? Like you have to either make it all legal or all illegal. So what are you going to decide? Because you can't keep deciding what like certain things cuz yeah, combat achievements, grandmaster, all those things are going to be services. Like they're going to be very tough and they literally say in the blog, if you thought Inferno was the hardest thing, you're mistaken, you know? Now it's like
I don't even care if it's you ban everything or you don't ban everything. Like I don't even care if everything's allowed as long as they have a consistent
yeah,
stance
that's
on
what
it, you
I
know?
feel like. Just make everything legal, make everything serviceable. There, boom. Like, but
I would be happier with that,
yeah,
honestly.
and it would make it so it's not like I don't know because like fire capes have always been legal to buy. Why was it such a big deal for an infernal cape? Like, I understand what they mean, but like you can literally share a friend's account that has a max infernal cape and be completely fine. But as soon as it's on
Yeah, that's
your
even
account,
sillier.
yeah, so
And
dumb.
for okay on your account, like, and someone else got it for you, that's not okay. But if you're playing someone else's account that has an Infernal
All
Cape,
the
that's
time
okay.
and
Like,
they quit the
that's
game.
so
Yeah.
dumb.
And they play
That's
their
so
account
dumb.
all the time. Like there's streamers that play a maxed infernal cape. They have never maxed in their life. They've probably never even gotten like 50 RC ever. And they're playing a maxed account with an infernal cape and they've never done any PVM. They just PK all the time. Not naming
Again, it just
names,
takes
but
away that progression from the game.
and it's
And
not even about taking away their own individual progression, but like why are you going to ban people that do it in a different sense, but it's still the same thing, you know? Like they still have an infernal cape they're playing all the time. Like what would be the
it makes
serious
no
difference?
sense at
I don't
all.
know. Yeah.
Account sharing, like, in my opinion, all of it should be bannable. Like,
I agree.
actually, there is the argument that it's like, you know, little Timmy wants to play on his brother's account for a little bit just to help his brother like level his fishing to 50 or something. Like really like low profile account sharing examples like that that I don't really think should be bannable. Like I think there might still need to be some sort of a casual uh
No, I think it should be bannable.
permit
I
on
think it
account
should be
sharing.
bannable. But here's the thing: is like you can't know if somebody's account sharing, especially when they're just actually on their own computer. Like,
Shoutouts to Parsec.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you can ban this shit, but it can't be perfectly enforced, regardless in any situation. So, but you can still make it bannable. It's the same thing like with the Ironman alting. They can ban you if you're Ironman alting. Same with Windows or same with auto hotkeys. It's like you can use it and you probably won't get banned, but if we do catch you, you're risking getting banned because we've made it a rule. So make it a rule to not account share. You can probably still account share all the time and not get banned because you won't get caught, but still make it bannable so people won't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. It's just really sad. The alting thing would be really cool if they made that a rule. I know people would fucking hate me, but if you are caught alting and it's clear evidence that you're alting with your Iron Man, using any sort of other account to help progress you. Even that tanning situation is kind of interesting because there are so many different scenarios in which you can be helped. So many little
Yeah,
teeny
just the
scenarios.
smallest stuff that
Yeah.
like the holding the crafting guild tanner is the perfect
Yeah.
example of just like it really makes you wonder if it's still self-sufficient if you make a second account fresh off a tutorial island and you know like you could even play that account like an Iron Man and then get that to the crafting guild and then you're still self-sufficient in a way because you still did everything yourself. But
But that's
uh
arguing the same thing with Iron Man alting with Corp. Oh, I did everything myself. It's my own Iron Man account.
I have to respect the people who like make a second Iron Man and then they go do bandos and they go get themselves a second Dragon Warhammer. Like that grind is awful, by the way. They go and get all these things and then they just for the sole purpose of speeding up Corp on their main. Like I gotta respect people who do that though. Like that's a lot of effort to get like an Iron Man Corp alt from scratch.
I mean,
And
yeah, I mean, I'll respect it because it's a lot of effort to put in, but at the same time, it shouldn't be allowed because you're
It is pretty silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you could just use that argument for every single thing. You could use it for Slayer ulti. It's like I have a main account that I worked on a lot, and now it's going to help me with 200 mil Slayer and just lure everything. Like you can have that argument, and that's the
That's a
people.
fair
That's
point.
what people's arguments are. And like I don't know, it's just tough because I don't want to take away people's fun, guys. I don't want to be the bad guy, but I also want the game mode to stay pure. Like, I want it to be a self-sufficient game mode, and any form of alting, even if you use your own alt, it should still not be allowed. That's my opinion, guys. My opinion, and I think my opinion's shared with a lot of others, but I know there are some others that fucking hate me for it. Anyway, let's get into the Arceus Spellbook. Well, actually, here we're gonna go. I wanna talk about you now, about your origin, BC
Oh yeah,
Guppy.
I'm really excited to
But
talk about that.
but before that, I need to pee already. So
Oh, really?
let's
Okay.
let's just
Well,
take a
I
quick.
don't need to pee at all.
Okay,
I'm just I'll just wait for you.
I'll be back in like 45 seconds. One sec.
Sounds good.
All right, I am
Welcome back,
back.
King.
All right, let's get into it. So, tell me what is the origins of BC Guppy?
All right. So the first part of this, well, I guess this is a whole new cast by itself at this point. But uh, the comment section of Sae Bae Cast 9, I saw some of the comments already. Uh, one of them was who who is Bcguppy? Who is this guy? Literally who? I don't know. Like you premiered the uh the cast on your Twitch. By the way, follow Sae Bae on Twitch if you haven't already. Uh, dude's a legend.
Thank you very
Anyway,
much.
people in the Twitch chat during the premiere was like, who is this guy? And there's like a lot of people who still don't know who I am. Like, because the past like 5 or 6 Sae Bae casts were all streamers, and I'm not a streamer myself. So we'll go over a bit about who I am. Hey guys, I'm Bcguppy, by the way. But we're gonna go all the way back. Like we're gonna go to 2003 when I first started playing the game. Like we're gonna go all the way back, and this is the era. Like like I was like in 3rd grade, dude. I was like 9 years old, and like keep in mind the era. Like Yu-Gi-Oh cards were all the
Oh
rage on the
yeah,
playground.
Blue Eyes White
You
Dragon.
know, people playing oh yeah, like I got scammed for some Yu-Gi-Oh cards back then, dude. I was such a poor and innocent young boy at the time. Like kids back then, like 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, so deceitful. Like they're already learning how to
Oh
scam people out
yeah,
of their Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
just straight blatant liars too. Yeah.
The yeah, our school banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards like I think a year after they started getting big because the
Damn.
scamming was getting out of control and the kids were like crying at home like to their parents like mom Billy scammed me out of my blue eyes white dragon
Jesus
and yeah, it
Christ.
caused a lot of crying. It's funny, but anyway, like consider the era. Like Yu-Gi-Oh cards were big back then. Like uh, people were playing like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire on their Game Boys, but but back then, like the if you were a real gamer, you played Flash games. Flash games were huge back then, and the website that like one of the most popular websites for playing Flash games, Miniclip.
Miniclip.com. Let's fucking go.
Miniclip.com, dude. And I was in like grade 3. I think I was 8 or 9 years old at the time, and we had these computer classes. Like they'd get like the 30 kids in my like little grade 3 class to learn about computers, and like we we'd basically like I don't even remember if it was there was anything constructive at all, or if it was literally like 30 minutes of just free time. But yeah, like we were allowed to like browse the internet, and Miniclip was like one of the most popular websites that like my classes sort of like learned like, oh my god, this is really cool. Like there's like Club Penguin, Heli Attack, dude. Do you remember Heli
Heli Attack
Attack?
2, man. The one where you
Oh
can like go
yeah.
under the little ledge or whatever and then just hide under there basically.
Oh dude, Flash games were so quirky.
Dude,
You
did you
had
ever
all
play
those kind of bugs.
Bush Shootout, dude? Bush
Oh
Shootout.
my
The one
god,
with
Bush
John
Shootout.
Kerry and shit. The or was it?
That takes me
I'm
back.
trying to think how it worked, but yeah, Bush Shootout, man. Jesus Christ. That was like one of the greatest
But
games.
oh yeah, but yeah, you had all these people playing all these different Flash games. Like I think if you were to look at every single person in that computer lab that was playing a game, you would see like half of them were on Miniclip, or like maybe like some of them were on like Newgrounds. Like you always had that edgy kid that was on Newgrounds. But anyway, like Miniclip was huge back then, and what popular MMO was on Miniclip? Can you guess?
RuneScape. Trust me, that's
Oh
where I
yeah.
was introduced as well.
Oh yeah, RuneScape was like the. I think Club Penguin was actually more popular. I think that was first, but at some point, I'm sure RuneScape was the number one game on Miniclip.
Oh yeah.
So like, there was a couple of us in our class that were playing RuneScape, and like, there was some of the kids in the class that would like they would go around. They wouldn't even be on the computer. They just go around like seeing what people were up to on the computer, and some of them were playing RuneScape, and like people would ask like, "Hey, what's that? This is RuneScape. Like this is like you just go around in this big world." And what really captivated me at the time was that your progress saved. Like the thing about like playing flash games in a computer lab is like you're on 30 different computers. There's no way to like save your progress on a game that you're playing.
Yep.
But RuneScape was different. Your progress stayed. And even me, like 8 or 9 years old, like I was really curious in that like progression. Like you could level your stats. I didn't realize like it would be like a multi 100 hour grind to get 99s at the time. Like I thought like, oh yeah, like I'll just use a cheat engine and then get all my levels to 99 right away, because that's how flash games work.
Yeah.
But anyway, like the year is 2003. Like RuneScape is starting to get a lot more popular, like in this computer lab class that I had. And as a result, like I have a whole bunch of IRL friends still that play RuneScape, or that they used to play RuneScape, or they know what RuneScape is. And I'm actually kind of grateful for that, because I talk to other people from like the United States and stuff, like various states, and I asked them like, do you have any IRL friends that play the game? And a lot of them say no. But RuneScape really hit my school hard, like big time. Like everyone in my school basically knew what RuneScape was at the time, and I still talk to some of the people I went to, like even elementary school, mostly like high school nowadays. But yeah, all my IRL friends have at least heard of RuneScape, and a lot of them play. Like some of them are like gamers, dude. Like some of them have 2,000 total like awesome Ironmen accounts, and so yeah, 2003. Uh, RuneScape hit my school hard, but I was never like that big into RuneScape. Like I'd play pretty casually, like off and on. Like I did make an email account like way back then, and I really enjoyed like talking to like my brother and my friends about like how strong like Jad was. Like oh my God, 702 combat. And back then I thought like to fight something you had to have like an equal combat level to it to have a chance.
Shit.
That's how my kid mind
Yeah.
thought. So I was like, how do you kill something that's 702 combat? And it really captivated me, like thinking about like what the game could be if I had all these stats, all like what would happen if I had a whip, like oh my God, a whip was like the pinnacle of RuneScape back in the day. Like if you had a whip, you were a gamer,
A whip and a boater, dude. It was all about the fucking boater that
Dude,
you do.
Cavaliers.
Cavalier, yeah,
Used to be
Cavaliers
so
with flared
expensive back then.
trousers. I think it was flared trousers they'd wear with their whip and their little like obby shield or something. Like that was like,
Oh, dude, Obby Shield, by the peak of my RS2 career, like I was king champion. I had D med on, granite body, D legs, Obi shield, combat bracelet, glory, everything you could think of, Obi cape.
king
I
shit.
was king champion. Dragon longsword, by the way. I never got a D skin. I never completed Monkey Madness because I was always scared that I'd lose all my shit.
Yeah, and you could.
And back then you could, like, if you
You
died, like all your shit would just drop to the floor, and you had like 2 or 3 minutes to pick it up. And the game was like relentless back then. Like I was always like scared as a kid because there was no there weren't wikis, there weren't quest guides. God, if you look today and look and see what quest guides have evolved into, have you seen the quest helper plugin for RuneLite?
I've
Holy
seen
shit,
somebody use it. I saw Puggin was using it for Song of the Elves. That was disgusting.
it's absolutely crazy. I watched my my friend go through the he was doing Dragon Slayer 2 with the Quest Helper plugin, and he was going through, like, you know, the maze dungeon in Karamja that you have to go through, or sorry, in the Karazi jungle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you go in there with the Quest Helper plugin, it just has like arrows just showing you like throughout the whole maze, like you just go, you follow the line basically, and you get to the end. Like it's that simple. And it's crazy how much quest help has evolved over the years. But anyway, like back then, like there weren't really like any quest guides. I mean, there were, but they were pretty obfuscated by the internet. Like it's hard to find resources like that back then. And everyone was like trash at the game. Like
Oh yeah.
everyone was way worse at the game than they are today. Like efficiency, we didn't know anything about efficiency back then. Like we just thought like the more you played, like the more your stats would go up, and that was that. Like that was the only correlation. It's not like the more effort you put in, the more XP you're getting. Like I don't understand how the player base had that mentality at the time. Like it felt like the people playing were all like in their teens or like super young. And nowadays, like old school RuneScape has a player base of like people are usually around the ages like between 20 and 25, and we all know like way
I'd
too
say
much
more
about the
20 to
game.
30 at this point. There's a lot of people
Oh yeah,
25
I
plus
know a
now.
couple of my boomer friends that play the
Yeah.
game too.
I wouldn't even say
But
20 anymore. I'd say 22 to 30. Like Jesus Christ, dude.
but anyway, yeah, like the year is 2003, but when I first started playing, but I was never good at the game. Like I I was always interested in what new updates were coming out though. Like I know like I was really excited to learn about Jad and how crazy he is. Like max hit of 98, dude. Like you know how scary that is? Like being like 9 years old thinking like, "Oh my God, Jad can one shot you even if you're like 99 HP."
That's just
Uh
crazy that you were so into PvM at the time, or not into PvM at the time, but just curious about monsters, dude. Me, I was just like, I just want money, and I would chop yew trees and shit. Like I never thought of, I didn't know what fucking monsters were. I just thought it was like kill men and women in Varrock and get like 3 coins each, and like build up a fucking bank from that. Like I seriously didn't know shit.
so Mr. Sae Bae, I heard you were a miner.
I know I was a woodcutter, and I didn't understand how people
Oh, a
could mine. Yeah,
woodcutter.
I was the woodcutter. People would. I remember the miners though. They'd all go to Fowley East Bank and go down the little staircase to the little coal spots and stuff. But I never ever understood the desire to go mine. I thought mining was the stupidest, most depressing thing. Woodcutting gang, man.
I was fishing gang. I was a big fisher. I loved fishing lobsters, dude. It was the best.
I had
Like
an IRL
you
friend that
could
would
cook
fish
them, they heal
lobsters.
so much.
He would run. He would teleport to Falador, run to the East Bank, deposit his lobsters, run all the way down to Port Sarim, take the boat to Karumja, and then fish lobsters. Another inventory, and then teleport to Falador. But he thought he was so efficient because he was teleporting to Falador, which honestly, like, probably was efficient for the time. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I just chopped my humble yew trees.
Were you a flax picker?
Nope, never picked flax.
I was a big flax picker. Dude, I literally picked flax just to like be able to afford dragon legs at some point. You know what's funny? Back then, I fondly remember dragon plate legs were like 800k, and a dragon plate skirt was 200k, and I thought the skirt was girly, so I didn't want to buy the skirt. even though it was like a quarter of the price. I wanted the legs, dude, to just
That's
match
what
my
everyone
full
thought too,
champion outfit.
probably. That's why it was so much more expensive. That's
I was
funny.
so accomplished when I did like Lost City quest. Like, I don't know how little me could even accomplish something like that to get a dragon longsword. But yeah, I remember entering Xanaris for the first time. I'm like, holy shit, this place looks so cool. I bought my dragon longsword. I don't know if I bought it at Xanaris or if I like bought it on the Grand Exchange or something. Well, actually, there was no Grand Exchange at the time. That's the thing, is that I don't think I traded with any players like before the Grand Exchange came out. So I was
Really?
like basically like an Iron Man at that point. Like, cause I had like IRL friends that played the game, but I never like traded with them because I didn't have that concept in my brain. Like I could trade items
Dude, I would just
and like,
sit
get.
at bank sales. I would just check out everyone's bank. I was broke, but I would just look at everyone's bank sale, and instead of being like, "Sorry, I'm broke," I'd just be like, "No, thank you. I don't want any of your shit," even though I really wanted it. Yeah, good times.
I remember my brother, actually, my younger brother of all things. He showed me a lot of like the ins and outs of the game, like trading. Like I didn't know about Varrock West. Like I was not good at trading at all. Like Varrock West shit. Like you just go on like World 1 or something, and it's just an ocean of people spamming text
Yep.
trying to like sell their shit, and you just try and buy stuff, and it was a crazy experience. But yeah, I was never good at that. Like I just remember like picking flax and then selling it in like the Sears Bank to the flax buyers, and that was like the my peak of trading with other players before the Grand Exchange came out. And then the Grand Exchange came out, and then the game was like way too easy by comparison.
What do you think of the Grand Exchange?
That is, you know what's funny is that people who don't play old school RuneScape, like they hate the Grand Exchange. They hate it. Like there's people who like they got into like what is it? 2007 Scape, like the private server 2007 Scape. This is like this is before old school RuneScape came out. There was a private server by some dude called 2007 Scape, and that's where the subreddit gets its name from.
Interesting.
And there's people who played back then, and then they played the old school RuneScape version when it came out, and like they were all excited, like, oh my god, like it's a fresh server, like you can, like start over in the old RuneScape, the good RuneScape. Uh, and there's still people today that they want to get into the game, or like they see in like some message board like talking about the game. They say how shit it is because, oh, the Grand Exchange, oh, the game's too easy. And you still have people today. I still see people talking on various forums like, oh, I can't get my progress from back in the day, like my
That
my
irks
old
me.
RuneScape 2 account,
Like,
I can't use that.
oh my
Like,
god.
dude, just start over. Literally, like
You
your shitty
probably, I
account
know
back
you were
then is
probably
not
like
worth anything.
60 combat. Like, just fucking start over. Takes 2 days to get back where you were. Yeah, I hear that argument all the time. But to be fair, I wish the Grand Exchange, even though it doesn't even affect me in any way, I'm against the Grand Exchange. I don't like it.
If there was no Grand Exchange, like imagine gold selling. Like gold selling would be way harder. Like there, you wouldn't have Venezuelan gold farmers because like the game would be so much less accessible for them.
Oh yeah, and also the one thing is, so I was never super because I started old school in like 2015, like September ish, and the GE was already out, Zora was already out and stuff. 6 hour Guthans was a fucking thing, and that
Imagine,
bothered me
dude.
so much. That literally bothered me so much. I remember walking around and seeing level like 120, 121 accounts. I'm like, holy fuck, like they're gods. Because this is like, keep in mind, like I had played from 2003 to 2007, that or from 20. When did I even start? When you say 2003, I feel like I started playing in 2003 because your story is exactly me, but I started in 2004. That's funny. I'm like literally thinking, no. So I started in 2004. I quit in 2007, and that's like my whole experience with RuneScape. And then coming back in 2015, I still had that same mindset, complete noob. And I was seeing these level 120 people. I'm like, holy fuck, they are gods. And then I started playing on OS Buddy, and when you could just freely look up people. And that's when I
Oh
started to
yeah.
understand that nope, these people botted their accounts through Nightmare Zone, and they actually have the shittiest accounts. and it just made me so
See,
sad.
it actually didn't bother me because I felt like that was the trade-off. Is like you could train combat easily through an NMZ, but you wouldn't have Slayer. Like I thought if you didn't use Slayer, then the disadvantage would be that your Slayer level was scuffed. So I always felt like it was a fair trade. It was a fair trade-off, but that's because I never did Nightmare Zone Guthans. Like I've never done it. 6 hours of just AFKing with Guthans is wild. And looking back on it, yeah, that shit was crazy OP.
Oh yeah.
Because I did do NMZ on my alt. Um, that is now achievement diary cape stats. But yeah, I made strong use of NMZ after getting 93 Slayer. Like after I got 93 Slayer on that account, like was still missing a lot of 99, so I just like or I mean 99 combat stats. So I just quickly finished that off. Just AFKing NMZ, just every 5 minutes, just click overload, and that's it.
I hate Nightmare
It's
Zone.
still really easy nowadays. Like Nightmare Zone was a mistake, big time.
I hate
It
it just overall. Yeah.
it removes a lot from the game when there's like one way to train, and that's you go NMZ. And it's not even like it doesn't even feel old school.
It's just this
Like
instance you go into and just
it's an
hide
instance you
yourself.
go into and you just train. It's the most private servery shit I've ever
Oh
seen,
yeah.
and
It's
it hasn't been.
fucking
I
horrible.
know they fixed 6 hour Guthans, but
It's still a
it
20
hasn't
minute
really been
AFK where
addressed.
you don't need to do anything for 20 minutes basically. Just move your mouse
That
kind of.
minigame entirely, just delete it. Like add the ring and view somewhere else. Like the rewards can go somewhere else. Just delete it.
I've always
it
hated Nightmare Zone.
it's fucked.
And I
It
hate
needs
that
to be
that's like a
reworked big
that's like
time.
efficient. It's almost like that's what you do zero time. It's like why the fuck can you bot for 20 minutes at a time? Like why is that even a thing in RuneScape? Like oh my god.
It's so sad.
Yeah. There's other things to
But
worry about
anyway,
now, but yeah, that used to
yeah, I want
irk
to
me.
continue going on my like a little origin story. I haven't even gotten to the point where I started playing the like old school RuneScape. But anyway, yeah, back in the day, um, I sucked ass. I was not good at the game by any means. I was like a flax picker and shit. Um, I think the height of my account was like I had like 60 fishing or something, and then or rather, I think I got the fishing level requirement for monkfish, but God, there's no way I would have ever been able to complete Swan Song back then. Like holy shit. But yeah, like I followed the game. I think probably after around like 2008, I kind of like fell off. Like I stopped playing, but I was always paying attention to the progress of the game. Like I remember when like Dungeoneering came out and it was such a foreign concept to me. Like I had no idea what it was, and I was like listening from my friends what it is, and it sounded really interesting to me at the time. Like I learned about Dungeoneering. I never played. Like I never tried Dungeoneering myself, but I was always fascinated by the direction that the game was going into. Like Dungeoneering happened. I know free trade was removed, and the wildy was like basically removed, and that made a lot of people quit. And I think I
I
didn't
quit.
play
Yeah.
because a lot of people quit back then because of the free trade shit.
Yeah, it was free
Um,
trade for me. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with the wilderness. It was just free trade. Bothered me to no end.
It was bad. It was really bad. They eventually brought it back, and then there were updates like Nex. Like I remember when Nex came out, I was like, "Wow, this is now like the strongest monster in the game," and it was wild. Like Nex was like it had super high HP. It was in the God Wars dungeon, dude. Like uh, it had multiple phases. Uh, and I think that's also when I got introduced to Wooks. And he was like he had already been soloing corp at the time, but I was like so fascinated by Wooks' videos, like where he's literally soloing next. Like just imagine like how sick that is, soloing next, like the hardest boss in the entire game, he was soloing it. And to me like that really idolized Wooks in my eyes. I really binged all of his videos, and I loved the way his videos were produced. Like he's got all this like hard style music, or I don't know if he used hard style music at the time, but like he was using all this sick music that really complemented how good he was at the game, and him just beasting the game, just being overall amazing at the game. And back then it I guess just made Wooks my hero, dude. Like uh,
Shit.
Wooks's channel at the time was booming, and I fast forwarding a little bit now. So Evolution of Combat comes out. It's like universally just a disaster. Everyone hates it, and like mass quits happened. And that was when I sort of stopped paying attention to RuneScape. But then I started hearing rumors about a new private server called 2007 Scape that my friends were playing, and at the time, like I think I was like in graduating era of high school, and my friends would talk about like, oh, dude, you should play 2007 Scape. It's so cool. It's the game, but it's not like fucked over. It's just RuneScape when it was good, because 2013 I think is when the server was like at its peak, but uh, and people like looked fondly on the 2007 era. There were some people that thought like 2004 was the best era, but a lot of people thought that 2007 was the best era, and this new private server came out, and it was really popular. Like it was, I feel like it was almost like competing with RuneScape 3 at the time for popularity.
Wow. So
But
was
yeah,
it
like
like it
the
wasn't like abused? Like were the was the creator like abusive with it, where like he could just
Oh no, it
or,
was a really well done private server. I don't think it
damn?
was abusive in any case. I don't know what happened to that private server after Old RuneScape came out. I really don't know. Like maybe the dude was like maliciously using account details and stuff. But anyway, um I never played the I never played the private server 2007 Scape. At this point, like 2013, I had the mentality that like I understood what MMOs were and how much of a grind it would be to play RuneScape. And like back then, I was like playing like Call of Duty and stuff, and my friends always thought that I was really good at the game. And I felt at the time that not only was RuneScape a game that, well, maybe RuneScape wasn't a game that required no skill because like Wooks like
Yeah.
really popped off, but I felt like to play RuneScape, I had to dedicate like a serious number of hours to be good at, to like become the level of competence that I was playing like Smash Bros. My friends always said that I was like unbeatable in Smash Bros. Like they looked up to me as like this guy that was really good at games, and that's why they wanted me to play RuneScape because they wanted to see me get really good at the game and
Mm,
like have a sick like maxed account.
yeah.
Maybe not max. That was kind of unheard of at the
Yeah, it
time,
was just something like
but
really
just like
good.
max combat even.
Yeah.
Um, and I declined them. Like I was like, no, I have to put in like serious work and like basically no life the game if I was to get good at it. And then I remember later on old RuneScape coming out, and then my friends like really try to pressure me to play this. Like, dude, old RuneScape's out. Like, you should come play. It's so much fun. It's like an official version of 2007 Scape. It's not a private server. It's an official server. You should come play it. And I just gave them the same response. Like I'm not gonna play an MMO. If I'm like still in school and stuff. I would play an MMO to basically no life it and like get good at it. So a couple years go by. And like I think I I think so after I graduated I did I think a year of college, but then after that I started working, and like I worked over a summer, and then I had a whole bunch of money saved up from this internship that I did. Or maybe it wasn't. Oh no, that's all right. I worked for a contractor, and I made like a lot of money over a summer. So I like I just came out of college, like I just finished my summer job that made me just a lot of money that I haven't really seen before. And I thought to myself like wow, I don't really want to work. I just want to play games, dude. So I started playing games. Like I got really big into Pokemon at some point. Uh like I played through all the games and I got super invested, but later on, so now we're talking like 2014, Iron Man mode comes out. I'm not originally captivated by it instantly, but like I heard of the concept and I'm like, wow, that's such a cool idea. Like if you play this, you have to actually like craft your own runes. By the way, that's totally not true. You don't have to craft your own runes.
I know.
There's different it doesn't quite work like that. But I was like so just impressed by the idea of the game mode. Like it kind of blew me away like how much depth it added to the game. Like because it wasn't just you make money and then you buy like all the shit you've ever wanted. You actually had to go out and get stuff. You had to like actually train your stats, like train your smithing to make armor that you would never use. By the way, you never use any of the shit you smith, except just like a high alchemy. But anyway, yeah,
But
my
yeah,
impression of the
that
game
was
mode
like
at first was incredible.
that was the thought was it was basically like you have to make your own rune armor and use it. It's like there's fucking shops for everything, man, and like there's drops for everything. Like yeah, but that
So,
yeah, that's
oh,
funny.
go on.
No, I was just saying that that's funny. That's kind of like initially what a lot of people thought about Iron Man mode.
You have to craft your own runes, just
Yeah.
Shopscape. That's not ended up being, but yeah, I was so captivated by the game at first, but I didn't quite start playing until early 2015. And I'm seeing Wook's, he's playing Iron Man, like the game mode is so fresh, and the dude's soloing bandos. I know I've already been talking about this, but yeah, like I go, this is back when I started watching lots of Twitch, and Twitch got really big. And I was interested in old school RuneScape like big time, and I wanted to watch and see what the streamers for the game were doing, because like I would hop to different games and see what the communities were like in each Twitch section, and like watching like the Wooks was by far like the most viewed person on that section, and he was soloing bandos, like it was crazy what he was doing. He was prayer flicking all the minions, like at the time I knew what God Wars was. Um, but it was so impressive like watching how Wooks would solo bandos, and he was using like a whip or something trying to get his bandos armor. And at that point, that's when I realized like, okay, this game actually looks really sick as an Iron Man. So I started playing, and and at the time I wasn't working or anything. I was just using whatever money I had from my summer job. So like I was basically in need at that point. So my excuse of oh, I can't play an MMO unless I have a truckload of time was gone. Like I had that opportunity finally to try to go hard into this MMO and see how far I could get. And when I was watching Mooks, I was like questioning to myself, I wonder if I would ever be able to be good enough to do that. And spoiler alert, I was, or I did become good enough at the game to be able to do stuff like that, and I'm proud of that.
We're
Like,
spoiled.
anyway, yeah, like I went super hard. Like a few days after that Wook stream of him soloing Banos, I made my account and I was like, you know what, let's just start now. And then I got crazy addicted to the game. I went so hard,
Was
dude. I
what
was
what was the thing that really addicted you though? Because I'm honestly curious. Because I got addicted instantly to Iron Man, like instantly. And so, but some people never get that. Like, what was the thing that really did it?
there was so much shit to do, and I realized that like every day I was progressing my account, it felt, and I was getting like little goals done every here and there. Like I was leveling a stat. Like some days I'll just spend the whole day leveling a stat, and I'll see like the numbers go up, and then I'm like slowly building my way up to getting to the high level content at the time, which was God Wars and Zora. Zora release, dude. Holy shit. That was huge, the blowpipe coming out. But yeah, like basically I was searching the wiki every day furiously trying to learn everything. Like I really went in depth on everything. Learning like, okay, what would be the most optimal route to get here? Like I uh I remember going for like my first fire cape, and I was like, holy shit, like I'm level 80 range at the time. I'm using a rune crossbow with broad bolts, which is pretty good for a fire cave completion to be fair. But like I didn't have bruise or anything because I didn't have the herblore level. I didn't have a ranging pot, so I would like basically go in with like 14 tuna potatoes and 14 prayer potions, and that's what I had. And I was starting to like learn prayer flicking and stuff,
Damn.
and like it started to like build myself as a player. Like it built a foundation
What
for being good at the game, just learning how to prayer flick. Like it was really punishing flicking the majors in the fight caves,
when you
because
say
you miss a flick and you take tons of damage.
yeah, no, always remember being scared of that. I remember watching Alfie one tick flick mage like I just remember Alfie, and back in like 2015 he was getting a fire cape and he was, it was probably early 2016 or something, but he was trying to get a fire cape or something, and he was one tick flicking with the mage, and I'm like, I've barely ever seen one tick flick, and I just know it's like very easy to fuck up. Like, how are you doing this? You know?
It was so hard, but yeah, it just sort of ingrained in my mind that tick cycle, just the timing, stuff like that was tough. The the fight caves, it kicked my ass at first. Like I died to Jad my first time, and like like I'd get to Jad, it would take like an hour, and my heart was just racing. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, oh my god, oh my god, I don't want to die. I don't want to get one hit, and I died, and I just like fell apart. Like I'm like, holy shit, like I got to get my nerves together. And back then, I was also really terrified of the wilderness. Like
Legs shaking and
I
stuff.
got a
Like
I
you're
got a
fucking
green dragon
shaking.
task from Vanica. Holy fuck, that was bad. That was so bad, dude. I'd be killing green dragons. I'd be like just staring at my mini map, just heart racing, and then like a PKer would swoop in and start like entangling me. It was like some one defense peer that would do that, and my heart would just start racing, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I don't want to die. And I was such a bitch at the time. I really thought so fondly of the progress that I made. And I felt like if I died, like I just lose like all of it. Like it felt like if I died in the wilderness, like my account would be deleted.
Yeah.
Like it felt like that. Uh, but yeah, like I got my fire cape eventually. I was so proud. I popped off. Like I think my biggest pop off in the game was my first fire cape. Honestly, like even more so than my first Inferno cape. Like that first fire cape, I felt the uncertainty like fading away. Like I felt like I was like good at the game at that point, and it felt good having a fire cape and slaying with it.
It was
Um,
amazing, dude. I failed my first fire cape too. The second attempt I got it, and I was just on cloud nine, man.
oh yeah,
And I
dude,
bet everyone
the
felt that.
so much ecstasy.
Oh yeah, I just remember going to the GE and just instantly pulling the fucking um, what's that Simpsons meme where Principal Skinner's looking down is like pathetic. You just look at every you look at
Oh
every
yeah,
you look
that
at every other fucking obby cave and just like you guys are
dude,
fucking sad.
that's the first thing like that I started looking out for was like Neve's cave was like the Slayer cave at the time. Like everyone was killing all their Slayer tasks in Neve's cave at the time.
Yeah.
Like and if you had like a task like steel or iron dragons, you had to go really deep in Neve's cave, and every room you'd pass, you just see someone like killing like blood veils or something, and I would like watch and see how many people had fire capes, and and every time I saw an Obi cape, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm better than that guy.
That
Like
guy
that's how I
sucks.
felt.
That guy sucks, man.
Little did I know at the time that getting a fire cape was like nothing. Like
Yep.
nowadays, getting a fire cape is literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Yeah.
I mean, it's more impressive if you get a fire cape without using a blowpipe or anything, and you're on an iron like really early on, like you have like 70 range, even is pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's just
Maybe
strange to
going into
me, like
60.
thinking how it really is. Just the more time you put into this game, the fire cape just starts seeming. It really just feels like going to DKs or something. It's like it's just so simple. It's like DKs used to be
Speaking of DKs,
terrifying.
DKs, another one of my biggest pop-offs in the game was getting my first berserk ring. Like, holy fuck, DKs were so stressful when I first started
That was the
doing it.
most
Like, I saw
terrifying
like
place to
I
go.
saw that like Dagnoth Rex dropped a berserk ring, and you could imbue that, and it would double its stats. And I had the efficiency mindset at the time. Like, I felt like I couldn't do Slayer unless I had a berserk ring to make it faster.
Yeah.
So I had done barrows at the time, so I had barrows armor and I crystal shield. Like, I had more than enough gear to start doing Dagonoth Rex, but like learning how to even just get to Rex was like a challenge in itself because you have that water birth island dungeon. Like you
Yeah.
need a friend to open the door for you. That's something that I really struggled with was like getting someone on my friends list to just come and help me open the DK's door. Shoutouts to my friend Crawford, by the way. I remember making my account. I completely forgot about this, but I made my account like after that Wook stream that I was talking about early 2015, and he was the one that greeted me on like straight from Tutorial Island. He was there on his own Ironman, no less, right in Lumbridge, and he greeted me. And he sort of helped me become the player I am. So
Damn.
shoutouts to my buddy Crawford. He really deserves a shout out because he was the first person I ever added on the game,
What a
and he's
king.
still on my friends list today.
Does he play?
But yeah, pardon me.
Does he still play?
I think he still plays off and on. I think he plays RS3, God forbid. But yeah,
He's
he
dead to me.
definitely
He's dead to
plays
me now.
sometimes.
I don't even know if he's dead to now. No.
Yeah, I look at my friends list. I see all these people in like worlds that have like 3 digits, like world 322, 443, and then I just see like
World 1.
world 8. Like,
Yeah. Like,
God, it's so cringe seeing that 1 8 in your friends list. But yeah, this dude really helped me get my bearings. He helped me with all kinds of questions that I had because he was playing an iron. I think he was playing an iron at the time too, and he was a bit ahead of me. I think it took me a few months to pass him, but yeah, he would be the one to help me like open the DK's door and stuff, and like I would be going killing Rex like I'd have to do that X logging method because I didn't really have any friends to like kill Prime and Supreme for me. So I had to like basically like dodge Supreme and then pray Mage and like get to a corner where Rex can't hit you and then X log and like getting to Rex back then was rough. Like getting to the spot where you can start safe spotting Rex and like you don't have any of the other DKs on you. It was hard. Like that was really hard for me at the time. And I got spooned on my Berserk ring. I got it on 17 KC, and I absolutely just freaked out as soon as I got it, because that meant it was over for me. Like it was done. Like I
Yeah.
didn't have to go back there to get that ring that I needed for Efficient Slayer. And yeah, the Berserk ring was like one of the like proudest moments on my account. Just finally having this really elusive ring. It wasn't even that rare, but it just felt like killing Rex was such a chore. Um,
What was okay? So I didn't play Iron Man until hardcore release. How was the feel of Iron Man? 'Cause did you play basically on release? Then you're saying that you weren't.
not on release where there was all the drama of like the I remember what's his name, Bonesaw. I don't
Yeah,
know if you've
Bones.
heard that name
Yeah, no,
before.
it's Bonesaw.
He got his account de-ironed because of some shenanigans selling gems to a store on his main and then buying them on his iron.
Yeah. So you didn't play
Uh,
back. When did you start? Was it end of
this was
2014?
early 2015, so this is
Okay.
like almost released, like a few months after release. I was a little bit behind,
Was this
but
after Zulra, or just like right after
this was
Zulra?
like as I think I played like the day Zora came out
Okay.
basically. Or actually I think a month after Zoro was released or something. So Zoro was in the game at the time, and I had that route in my mind, like okay, 87 Slayer Trident, um, or actually not quite at the time. So actually one of the things that really kicked my ass and like really like forced me to get good at the game was Zora. Like I'd try to get a Zora completion using like I think it was I was mage only with like Blood Blitz. I was like 80 mage or something, and holy fuck, Zora just absolutely destroyed me. I was trying to like follow all the rotations and stuff, and just having such a struggle, dude. Like
Zulra
the
was fucking
snakelings would kick my
awful.
ass.
It's crazy to
No
even
brews,
remember
just
a
an
time when
inventory of
Zulra was
food.
tough, but like Zulra was so hard. It took me like two
It
weeks.
was so hard. I eventually did go back when I got a trident. Like after I got my shit pushed in Zora, I got a few kills with Blood Blitz, but I said to myself like, okay, I need a trident for this. Like this is actually cancer. And yeah, later on I ended up starting to grind Zora for the uniques, and at first it was such a struggle. Like I didn't know how to switch gear to switch to like different styles to attack. Like I had no idea. Uh, when uh when I had this vision in my mind where I had to switch to like range gear and then hit Zoro, like I would switch so slowly, and then by the time I switched, like my prayer wouldn't even be up yet for the mage Zoro, and I'd just be getting mage, just taking 40 snakelings gas. Like I would get the sorry, the Zoro would like throw a gas cloud on me, and I would be like switching my gear or something. I wouldn't even notice at
Yep.
first, and then I just look at my HP, I'm dead.
Yep.
Like Zora was crazy punishing, and I eventually like I got the rhythm of it, and it made me a way better player as a result. Learning Zora is what really like pushed me forward in skill level big time.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But
I
but
want to ask you something, and I don't know if you can answer it, but who were in your mind at the time? And again, I don't know if you were that kind of player that looked up to like others, but who were the king Ironmen back in those days, early
Wooks,
2015?
Wooks big time,
Wooks.
absolutely Wooks.
Who else was? Jesus Christ!
I don't even think I would have played the game if it wasn't for Wooks.
I just
Like
gotta.
if I didn't see his stream and captivate me into playing the game, I don't think I would have even started playing RuneScape again. I don't think that would have been a thing. But
I
the
apologize. Oh,
kings.
wait, one sec.
Oh,
Okay,
no problem.
it's shut. No, you couldn't hear it on your end. I just got two random ass notifications. The shit literally says it's paused and it goes through anyway. I'm getting Streamlabs
Sub
alerts during
notification,
this. Yeah,
dude. It wouldn't be a Sae Bae cast without an
like
accidental sub
Dude,
notification.
it's literally set to off. Like I don't it's set to pause and it does it anyway. It was a YouTube one this time, so maybe it was like glitched, but Jesus Christ, I'm sorry about that.
That's funny.
So like the last like 15 seconds I was so distracted. What who were the
Anyway,
players?
yeah,
So you're
the
saying Wooks?
Kings,
Yeah.
Wooks was the king, but he stopped playing really quickly. Like it feels like he stopped playing like as soon as he couldn't get a Vandal Silt on his iron. I remember him going dry on that. He just quit because he never got it. Um, he loses interest in the game really quickly,
Oh
it seems.
yeah.
It's wild, but anyway, yeah. The truest king of them all was Curtis. He played basically like on launch, and he was that guy that I was always like looking up to. Like he had the best iron account. Like throughout the whole game's history, I think he's had the best iron account because he's been playing consistently since it came out.
Yep.
But yeah, like I was always comparing myself to Curtis, and I saw like it didn't take me long to realize like late 2015, early 2016 that I was a better player than him. So I was like rushing, trying to like pass him. Like there was a point where there was like a corp space race basically where irons were going to corp for the first time. They saw a viable way of killing corp. I think the death mechanics were changed, and then people realized that you could suicide food, and corp was actually possible to kill in an iron at this point. So there was a bit of a space race at corp going for like the first Ellie on an Iron Man. That would have been like the sickest achievement of all time. I don't know who got the first Ellie. I don't remember, but
I remember the first person that got Nelly ended up dropping it over and staking it. Is that true?
that is so sad. That is so sad if
That's
that's true.
that's what I remember. Somebody said that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the addiction, man, to just fucking throw away the first Iron Man Ellie. Just gamble it.
I do remember Lake getting an Ellie, and like I was really friends with him at the time. Like we used to like literally be best friends. Um, I don't know exactly what happened with that. We just sort of fell off, but uh, yeah, like I remember he got his Ellie, and then like he was like parading around the Grand Exchange. He got a big following. Like he had a big ass parade of just people following him wearing his Ellie. Uh,
Was this on
and
his
then I think
old account
this is on his super old
with the
account.
third age
Yeah.
longsword and shit?
Oh yeah.
That's the
Oh, that was
luckiest.
such a sad scenario, by the way. He got the third age long, and then he wore it with the Ellie, like doing the Grand Exchange parading thing again, and he got hacked the next day.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was the saddest state of affairs I've ever seen. Yeah, he had a third age long and an Ellie at that point. Like he was fucking balling out of control.
Yeah, that's fucking unreal to see an Iron Man with that.
But yeah, I was originally like I was the corp guy. Like I killed a shit ton of corp, and I was using the food method. And this is where I started becoming the theory crafter. Like this is where I started coming out with my own methods for stuff. Like I was the very first person to use Darklight on corp at all. Like like I saw the spec on Darklight. It reduced it was like attack, strength, and defense by 5%. So I think fresh off of the Dragon Warhammer's release is when the Corp space race like really began. Like people were killing Corp with BGS specking and like going to Nightmare Zone to get their spec back, but when the Dragon Warhammer came out is when it really incentivized people to come to Corp. So I grinded up my Warhammer and then I went straight to Corp. Like I was like, okay, I really want to grind out like spirit shields. I was super motivated at the time. Like this is okay. So we're not in 2015 anymore. We're in 2016, and it's been a year since I started playing, and my account was like at this point it was pretty good. Like I had God Wars finished and stuff. So I got my Warhammer and then I instantly went to Corp, and I went a bit dry on my Warhammer, so I couldn't start killing Corp like right away because there were some people that were spooned on their Warhammer and they just started killing Corp earlier. But the hours I was putting into Corp were insane. Like I remember I would literally like I would mine gems, sell gems like the semi-precious gems to Gaboody or whatever his name is in Taibo when I to get trading sticks, and then I would use those trading sticks to buy Karamwans because
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
was no fishing Karamwans at the time. So I remember I had to buy like a shitload of Karamwans, by the way, because it was like 50 Karamwans a solo corp or some ridiculousness. I was grinding hard, just getting a massive stack of Karamwans, using those Karamwans to do death piles at corp, and and I was just soloing Corp, and I eventually did get some sigils. I got an arcane sigil on like 300 KC, holy elixir shortly after that. So I had an arcane and an iron, and only a handful of irons at the time had any spirit shields. Like I had an arcane, and that was considered like one of the best. It wasn't an Ellie, obviously, but just it not being a spectral made it really awesome in my eyes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I kept killing Corp, and I ended up being rank 1 Corp KC. Like that's how hard I went into the game at that point. But uh, there came the sad point in my life where I ran out of money and I could no longer afford to be no lifing RuneScape, so I had to start working, and that slowed me down big time. Yeah, I started working, and it slowed down my Ironman progress a lot, but I still had a really good account at the time. But yeah, it would have been nice not having to work when like raids came out, so I could like no life raids and
Yeah.
stuff. But
So you were still
yeah,
super into the game, but you had IRL to like deal with.
yeah, I did.
So it wasn't anything about burning out or anything. Just
It makes me wonder what would have happened if I started streaming on Twitch like when I made my Iron Man account. Like
oh
I
yeah. You
I
wonder.
wonder what my account would have turned into if I like started streaming and I got like that early following. Because my account was like really impressive
No, yeah, that's the
at the
thing.
time.
Even hardcore, because I was there for hardcore release. If you had a great hardcore, you could just build a following off of it. Like that's all it takes is when a fresh game mode comes out and you're like basting it up. That's all it takes.
It makes me wonder what my like Twitch following would have been after 6 years of just playing Iron Man mode
Yeah.
and like going through all these various parts stages of the game. Like dude, it was so exciting. Like the day of like some big update, like Cerberus, Abyssal Sire. Those were both exciting. Raids 1 was like the biggest release ever. Uh, Inferno, dude, Inferno was. I was doing
Oh.
Inferno on release, and
You were doing like you were actually like trying to complete it and stuff.
oh yeah. I uh, I I I think very fondly of the title, but I was the fourth Iron Man to get an Infernal Cape.
Oh damn! So that was within what 2 months?
Uh, 3 weeks.
Oh really? I thought the first Infernal guy, because I know that was James or whatever his name is.
The first, like on an
Bad
iron,
ideas.
you mean, or
No, I'm
yeah, bad ideas.
bad ideas.
He had a T-bow, and that was the thing
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought he got it a month afterward. Maybe my time is just my time.
you're about right. It was well actually I
So
think it was like more like 2 weeks, but
you guys all got it basically within the next few days of each other. Then I'm assuming.
so bad ideas got okay. So what made all of us get our capes at the same time is when we figured out how the set spawning works at Zuck. That was the thing that was kicking our ass because people didn't know how set spawning worked, and they would just get like set spawning during the Jad at Zuck.
Yeah.
And like as soon as the set spawns, when you have Jad up, it's over basically. Like I fell apart trying to kill Zuck with an ACB, uh, and then like killing the Jad in time for the sets. And like I had numerous Zuck attempts where I would just basically lose because the set spawned during Jad,
How did
and I
it
would just die. Like
How did it feel to just walk around the fucking game? I bet it was like a surreal feeling, kind of like the fire cape when you're walking around as one of the only Iron Men with an infernal cape.
see, I was really humble at the time, so I didn't do that. The very first thing I did was I actually did my Calcite Queen task that I was sitting on because I was waiting for the Infernal Cape to come out.
Wow.
I have that mentality where I have to get items before I do stuff.
That's
I had a Calcite Queen task, and I knew the Inferno was coming out, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my Infernal Cape before I do this
So were
task.
you the
So
first Iron Man without a TiVo to get infernal, or who was the?
there was 3 irons on the same day that all got their Infernal Cape on the same day.
With you?
And with me, yeah, and none of them had T-bows. It
Okay.
was just Bad Ideas who was the
Yeah.
first, and he got it a few days earlier.
Okay.
Um, I remember PMing him, or he was PMing me, like he was asking me when he got his cape, do you have an Infernal Cape yet? Because he was worried, like he had a feeling that I would be the first one to get the Infernal Cape
Yeah.
on an iron. And then I told him, no, I don't have a T-bow, and he was like, oh, that makes sense, because like ACB was a struggle at the
Oh
time.
yeah, it
Like,
still is. TiVo's
oh yeah.
crazy good.
But yeah, when I got my Infernal Cape, I was like, wow, I'm really impressed with the level of difficulty of the Inferno with an ACB. Like I was really pleased with the level of difficulty of the Inferno. Like it felt like an accomplishment, and I didn't think it took too many attempts. It took I think it took me 20 attempts because I was pretty good with the waves, but it took me 12 Zucks because like at the beginning
Yeah, you just didn't
Zuck
know. Didn't
was
have guides.
struggle. And yeah, like at the time like people were hopping streams like
You probably didn't
like
even have
every time
tile
someone got
markers on the shield. You actually
yeah, no tile
probably
markers
hid
at
behind
all.
it. Yeah.
You had to actually follow the shield
Yep.
back then. It was rough, but yeah, like Twitch was popping off
Oh,
when
dude, I
Inferno
had
came
three
out.
streams open. Like I at all times I would just hop
Oh,
through
everyone
streams.
did.
Yeah.
All the stream hopping, just every time someone got on Zuck, just their viewer count, like 50,000 viewers, just boom.
I
They would
I
have no followers, 50,000
I
viewers.
basically failed a final because like I was in finals in like June, like early June. I was like studying for finals. My
Oh,
my
that,
classes were a little
yeah.
weird. But yeah, like literally I was just watching the Inferno, and I knew I looked at that, and I wasn't a PVMer at the time. I didn't even know how to do Zulrah then. I really didn't. I learned Zulrah like a few months later. I was very behind. But I just remember thinking like this is actually like crazy. Like this is like I will never attempt this. Like this is like psychotic that it would take so long.
Inferno came out, and I knew I would be like good enough at the game to be able to do it. At that point, like I
That's
was
cool to
really
have the
confident in
confidence
myself.
to just
Uh,
basically convince yourself like I can do this.
but yeah, like I was still working, so that was what really sucked. Like that depressed the shit out of me that I couldn't no life the Inferno because I was working full time, and I was working full time. I wonder like what would have happened if I wasn't working full time. Like
Yeah.
could I have potentially like been the first Iron to get an Inferno cape even before Bad Ideas? Like it makes me think like what could have been, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like after I got my Inferno cape, like I kept my nerves really well. I was pretty proud of that. Like comparing my nerves when I was killing Jad for the first time compared to comparing to killing Zuck for the first time, like it's just crazy. Like looking back, like how much I've grown as a player. I'm really grateful for the game and like giving me that sense of regression that I've been looking for in a game. It's really satisfying. But yeah, the first thing I thought of like after I did the Inferno was I wonder how many people can do this.
Yeah. Not many at the beginning. It took I mean cuz I got my Infernal Cape exactly a year after release. It was like June 3rd or something the next year. And that was after and I had still had no intention of ever going to the Inferno, but I spooned a 20k CT bow. And I remember seeing there was a few irons. There was maybe 2 or 3 irons in Iron Clan at the time. And this is like um early 2018. And this is like so I got my cape like the a few days before Theater of Blood came out, and but I remember like earlier that year there was a few Ironmen in Iron Clan that had an Infernal cape, and I was like, you guys are legitimate gods. Like you guys are so crazy. Like you guys are so cool. I look up to you so much, and I was kind of newbie still. I had a kind of good account, but I was more like skilling based,
Yeah,
and
you started a lot later, so you didn't have that progression
yeah,
at the time
but
that anyone
But I
before you had.
looked forward. I was like, dude, because I would imagine myself with an Infernal Cape. I'm like, dude, I'd be the biggest fucking badass of all time if I could get an Infernal Cape. Because everyone knew me as this like skiller that died on a hardcore like 1300 total and shit. And I'm just like, everyone just thought I was just some basic noob. And I was like, dude, I need to fucking like prove myself. And so getting that Tebow finally sparked the ignition to like, okay, let's fucking do this. I went to go get an SGS, got it, and then basically, yeah, it was basically like 20 attempts for me. It's over the course of like a week and a half.
Yeah, it was the same as me, 20 attempts. Granted,
It
a
took
lot
me
of Zucks,
it took
a
me
lot
five
of Zucks.
Zooks. Died
Yeah,
four.
people nowadays they're so well informed they do Zuck in like 2 tries.
Yeah,
A friend of mine did his Inferno Cave recently. He literally did it in 2 Zucks. His first Zuck was so scuffed. He went in like he had no sups after waves, so he just he had no prayer and like 30 prayer points, like no peapots or anything, no restores. Like so, I just basically told him like I was coaching him while he was streaming this on Discord. I just told him like, okay, just follow the shield, like just don't pray rigor or anything. Just try to like survive as long as possible. And yeah, he did that. And then his next Zuck attempt was Cape. Like incredible.
damn.
Like he did healers first try and everything. But yeah, back then like the people were way less informed about the Inferno because it had just come out and it was tough. Like Zuck was honestly like Zuck is one of the sickest boss fights ever. It's such a well-designed
It's
encounter.
fun.
I really think highly of Zuck when I think
And
of
you
like
can't
high
just
level
do it all
content.
the time either. You have to get through the waves to have that enjoyment. Because I think Zuck's a
Yeah,
ton of fun too.
big time. Big props to Mod Kieran who did that.
Yeah.
Mod Kieran was such a god at the time. He did raids 1, Inferno, and Tob.
Yeah.
Like God, what would we be without him? Like the holy shit. One of my favorite J mods, big time.
Oh yeah. No, he's a beast. And like Raids 1, I don't know if solo was designed in mind, but like it works out perfectly. Like I was hearing Puggin in the stream yesterday. He like popped in and was like kind of talking you up, and he said that you were kind of like the big help with 4-1. I don't know if he said you invented 4-1, but I don't remember.
4-0 actually.
Or 4-0, was that it? Because I remember I was
Um,
like 4-1
okay,
doesn't sound right, but maybe he did say 4-0 actually, and I just missed.
first of all, shout outs to Puggin. Like the dude's got he talks so positive of me, and I really appreciate it. I told like nobody that I was the first one to do 4-0 because I don't really take credit for it that much, considering I didn't show anybody. Like I have a video and I have like proof that I was the first person to execute 4-0, but it's not like I like invented it in the sense that I made a video on it and I started like teaching people how to do it. Um, it was a year after I started doing 4-0 that Tipper Kitty figured it out on his own, and then he made it public.
Okay.
Like he made it public knowledge, and he was like
That's
sharing
who
it
I
like
remember.
solitary and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest bruh moment when Tipper Kitty found out that I was doing 4-0 like a year ago. Like he was like trying to take credit for it, and he really should be taking credit for it because he was the one that made it popularized, and he came up with it on his own. But yeah, he was really sad to see that I had done it already a year prior, and this was back when I was like basically like three-way mage switching, like just tried an occult and the arcane that I had, like just three-way mage switching, and I would kill like back then you could kill Olm's left claw with a Zamorak Hasta that was like good at the time, and I was using an Artie cloak because like it had a mage bonus on it and it had a stab
Yeah.
accuracy bonus
That's
on it,
funny
so
as
it
fuck.
was like good for 4-0. But yeah, I did figure out how to 4-0, and I was doing it like way before anyone else. But I don't really like tell many people that like I invented 4-0 because like I mean just say Tipper Kitty invented it. It's way easier to just say he did because he did it and he made it popular.
I just
But
remember
yeah, Puggin always like shouts me out for being the guy that did 4-0. So
yeah. That's
shout outs to him for
I
being
just
so positive.
I just find it crazy the like initial people that were messing around with raids. I remember Hauke, like watching Hauke streams before I ever even did raids or anything, just watching his streams, like seeing that. I'm like seeing people solo raids. I just bring up Hauke because he was one of the streamers I used to watch doing solo raids, and it was just mind boggling. I'm like, how the hell did anyone learn how to do this? Like I remember seeing him do Tecton, walking around it, not taking any damage. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Like, how are you doing this? And then like Olm just looked really easy to a bunch of people. And it's crazy to me because like now raids is super simple. Like I can just go in there and bang them out, you know? But like
Yep.
learning it was probably the hardest thing I'd ever had to learn in the game. Like just learning raids. And
Four
I
one
can't
is
even
what
imagine
caused a lot of
having to
people to
like
struggle.
I can't even imagine having to like theory craft it where you're the one actually coming up with the methods because I was just following other people and it was still the hardest thing ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's so
It felt
punishing.
good being
Yeah.
being able to like brainstorm ideas for stuff. It felt good. Like if I'm able to do something efficiently before anyone else is able to, like I find that really exciting. So at the time I wasn't making videos on the methods that I was making, and I would sort of like tell streamers to do stuff like do you remember Sig?
Sig, yeah. But
I used to like really enjoy watching his stream.
I never watched
He
his streams.
he was kind of a goofy Swedish character, but yeah, he was soloing Zami on his iron at the time, and I told him to bring Blood Barrage to test it to use it on the minions to improve his trips. And you know what's funny is back then getting to God Wars on Ancients was cancer on an iron. We didn't have redirection scrolls yet. They were locked from irons buying it from the NMZ shop. But yeah, the best way to get to God Wars on Ancients at the time was you literally brought climbing boots and you went to Berthorpe and you like hiked up. And I told Sig to try bringing like a one-way mage switch and then blood barrage the Amelia and the Ranger. And he was so impressed, like, oh my god, like he was really happy that he could heal like, you know, 60 health or whatever it was in between kills, and it really improved his trip length. So like when I was coming up with methods like that, I was just basically like telling people to try stuff. Like I wasn't really making videos of it on any videos on it or anything. I was just like telling people to do it. Uh, G challenge, shout out to him. I met him really early. Feel like I met him in like 2016, and like we talk all the time. Like we've been friends forever, and I me and him, we've been theory crafting this basically for 5 years of playing the game, and I think without his help, I couldn't have come up with various things like this. So big shout out to him.
I have to give a shout out to him as well. Like honestly, like I was trying to. I think I meant to ask you this last. What are you in Summit? Like,
I was invited to Summit, but I never joined. I don't know why I never joined. I think it was because Fraser made it, and I'm like, okay, Fraser's
yeah,
kind of like, you know,
yeah, that's
Fraser's
probably
Fraser.
that's
So
a good
I didn't
reason.
join. And then Fraser, like, he basically like gave up Olympus leadership. Like he started like backing down because a lot of people thought he was cringe. Uh, I don't remember what he's done that
You don't
was
want.
so cringe that
Yeah,
made
no,
people
there was
think of him
something
as being so
really
cringe.
fucked
But
up that got really popular on Reddit, and he basically got blocked by all J mods and shit. And what he did was like pretty fucked up. So like again, like I think I've said this, like he's never wronged me, but the shit I've seen at least that's been public to me is like there's good reason why he had to
I don't know
like.
much about him. I just remember like people calling him cringe. So I
No.
was like, all right, I'm not joining Summit because Fraser made it.
Yeah, no,
And
there's
then
there was just huge. He's very polarizing, but like um again, I like he's never done anything to me personally, so like I were like, but the things I've
yeah, I've
seen in
talked with
the
him in the past,
yeah
and he was respectful to me.
yeah
I was respectful back. I just I've heard the horror story. I don't remember anything about Fraser nowadays.
yeah no, it's
But
kind of
yeah,
gone and done.
he made Summit, and I was like, okay, I don't really want to join this if Fraser's gonna be the leader, because like he has a bad track record for running stuff. But yeah, I recall that he stepped down from Olympus. I think he got banned, didn't he?
Yeah, he got banned on his iron.
Did he was he like macroing or something?
That was the uh, that was the accusation that he bought in 3-tick 4G. I don't fuck
Oh
yeah.
wow.
I don't know what happened. I think he. I'm not speaking for him, but I think he claims that he didn't, and like it was something else. And it was. I think at least what I saw was that he already had kind of made kind of enemies with some J mods, and so just kind of talking shit and stuff. And so the J mod that he believes banned him, I think, had a reason to do it other than him botting, but it was because he just didn't like the
Oh, I
guy.
see.
But I don't know the
Maybe
whole
some
thing, and it's
collusion.
really just a bunch of drama. And I really, honestly, don't know much. I've never, even to this day, am I that active in Olympus, and I hadn't even joined Olympus when all that shit went down.
Olympus had a really interesting history at first. Were you in Erudite?
No, I was in solitary
Olympus was
first.
the direct sequel to Erudite, which was ran by Situation, and I think one other person that I don't remember. But anyway, they both the leaders got banned for macroing. I think Situation, or apparently he was banned wrongly or something, like the same sort of collusion you're talking about with Fraser and JMods. But anyway, like apparently there was some foot pedaling Artie Knights involved, and he got banned. And then Erudite just kind of fell apart because it no longer had any leadership. So I think Fraser came in and he made Olympus and he told everyone in Erudite to like move over to Olympus, and then like Fraser had his own interesting drama behind him, and he eventually stepped down, and now Olympus seems like the best Ironman clan. Like I was in solitary for like a year, and I did like meet a whole bunch of really cool people, but I eventually left because like the time zone that I was playing at, like I was always playing in the evenings 'cause I would work during the day, and just the clan chat and solitary was just dead when I played. Like I'd play like 11 p.m. my time, and there would be 6 people in the solitary
Yeah, I
CC.
remember you being in solitary with me. We were talking about. I remember I was at Blast Furnace, and we were talking about some like elite clues or some random bullshit. And then I remember looking up your account for the first time because I remember, like at this time when I had first joined Olympus, I still looked up to so many players, and I was like, I wanted to be involved. Solitary seemed like the best place to be involved. And then as I kind of progressed through solitary, I ended up switching to Olympus because of the lack of I think the reason I didn't ever intend to actually leave solitary, but it was a rule of solitary is that you can't multi-clan. So I just wanted to
Yeah, that
join
makes
Olympus
sense.
just to see it and see
A
like the attitude.
lot of people moved from solitary to Olympus, like tons. I don't know how big of a clan solitary is nowadays, but yeah, like say Aloe, I'm
Yeah.
sure you know of him
Oh
very
yeah, no, he
fondly.
he was actually the first person I ever subbed to on Twitch.
Oh, are you still sub to him?
No, he doesn't stream. He's
I'm
he
sure he
doesn't
has like
play.
1 or 2 subs, even though he's literally doesn't even play. He just gets like paid like $5 a month by Twitch or something for the 2 subs, just for people that are like praying that he comes back to the
Yeah.
game and he streams so that they could have
I love
like the
say like I
30
love
month
Aloe to
or
death,
crazy
man.
long sub.
Like
Anyway, yeah, the issue I had with Solitary was like it had 2 leaders. It had Bertel
yep.
and it had Sayalo. And Sayalo was like gone. Like he had no involvement in the community at all. So at that point, like so already just looking at him, like the clan had no leadership. And then Bertel, like I had a um I don't want to say beef with Bertel, but yeah, some of his decision making skills were just so strange. Like the bingos that he would make, I got like pretty upset with because he was making really cringe bingo tiles that just no one liked. And I don't know, like he wasn't really like someone I could look up to. Like he played the game casually. Like he wasn't like a gamer or anything. He just played the game casually. I think he got hacked and then he rebuilded his account at some point. But yeah, like he wasn't really someone I could look up to. So I left the clan because the clan had no leadership and it was dead.
I
Like
felt
during the time
I
that
felt
I could play.
I felt very similar to that where I looked up to Aloe, but Aloe seemed to always have like private off and didn't really at least
Yeah, he wasn't involved in the clan at all.
oh yeah.
That's the thing is that I feel like the clan should have some level of camaraderie where the clan mates they all like talk to each other and like the clan leaders can talk to each other. But yeah, it felt like the staff and the leaders of Solitary they were in their own like little
Yeah.
club and they would never talk to the plebeian clannies
The reason
or
I
staff.
the reason I actually had decided to leave because I remember I was talking to Bertil when I decided to join Olympus. He said, "Hey, you can't multi-clan, so what are you going to choose?" And I decided to keep going with Olympus, but it was just the thing that like kind of tipped me just to not really be a part of Solitary was just like it felt like the whole clan's mindset, especially at the time. I don't know if anything's like really changed, but it just felt like everyone was obsessed with PvM. They had no sense of like Ironman morals. It felt like it just felt like just PvM, alt, do all this
Yep,
shit,
big time.
do the metas that involve that, and then if you ever mentioned anything about skilling, they would have this meme where it's like, this is a PvM clan, and like you couldn't ever have any discussion involving anything besides TOB, Chambers, God Wars. It was just like it was so fucking sad that it because I'd bring up things like about like some new efficient thing that can help you with this certain thing, and it was just like basically looked down upon, like get the fuck out of here, we don't skill here, we just PvM. And then there was like issues with some people getting hacked, but I don't want to get into like drama, but it felt like, at least to me, that there was some real world trading issues in the clan, and that's kind of like
Oh, interesting.
well, I don't know exactly because I have no proof of it, but it just really felt like the whole clan was involved with PvM and then like just fucking real world trade once you've built up enough PVM
Yeah,
items.
I didn't get good vibes from Solitary by the end of it, but I did meet a lot of really cool people, and a
Yeah.
lot of people know me from Solitary. Like they know me as like some dude that was in Solitary that one time. Uh, I met lots of like gamers, like crazy talented people in there that I still talk to today, and yeah, I definitely don't regret joining Solitary.
No,
It
I
was
liked my
wonderful being
time
in
too.
such a high level clan at the time. But yeah, I think Olympus nowadays is just a superior clan in every way because at least like the leaders like play the game, you know.
And they're always in the clan chat too. Like you got the top Ironmen in the entire game, like in there, like skilling wise at least, and they're just always
Hmm.
there active. And the thing that really made Olympus amazing is they have spreadsheets and calcs, and their ranking system is super clear and concise, and just they've included clues into how many, like into your rank ups. Like if they've like there's like EHP, EHB, and now there's EHC for
I
efficient
like that
hours
they use
clued.
both. That's really cool.
Yeah, they use everything, and so it's just like it's a beautiful way of like tracking. And they have like even their like the whole forum on like joining Olympus, they'll even say this is not a skilling clan, this is an Ironman clan, and like we like everything with Ironman. It's not just exclusively skilling.
I have a lot of problems with Solitary's way of determining your like ranking in the clan, dude. Oh my gosh.
Luck based
There's some
stuff. And
cringe shit. Like uh like they assume that you don't alt. So if you want to like farm points, you can literally like alt Corp, for example, and just
yeah.
get like a ridiculous amount of EHB. And they gave item points for like dumb shit, like oh, if you have an ancient wyvern shield, you get like 70 item points. Like it wasn't even a drop from a boss or anything. It was just like literally an item that sees no use at all, and it's just like
Yep.
it was just dumb. Uh, they gave the even the eternal gem like item points and just I don't know. Like
Yeah. No,
I had a lot of problems with the way it was designed.
Olympus's just whole system is just like flawless. Like they've done a very good job, and every single the cool thing is like EHB is also effective EHB. So what they'll count for ranking is so like if somebody's done 40 fucking thousand uh Vorkath, it actually counts as no EHB because that is efficient
That
for
I like a
skilling.
lot.
I love it, dude. I love that shit.
Solitary, you just like AFK mole, you get or even Kraken, like you get the same amount
Yeah.
of like EHB per hour as like sweating like soloing Bandos, for
I know.
example. Like God, dude, like why can you AFK mole and get this much score, and then like you don't get more score for things that
Yeah.
actually
Now
take effort, you know?
they have really just it's just clean, man. And they update it like and I was wondering why Nightmare wasn't on there. And Nightmare is a big it's so confusing because what is efficient for Nightmare? Cuz technically KC you want to do 5 mans, but technically the efficient way is to solo. So what do you count on a sheet? Because if somebody has 9,000 5 man KC and you're counting EHB as one certain number, like you're technically not being efficient unless you
I,
solo, and you're not technically even being efficient until you 1+1. So what do you count like as kills and so? But they were
yeah,
very
it sucks. Like you can't really rely on high scores for stuff like that. If you wanted to make it
yep.
make sense, you have to ask everyone like, okay, did you 5 man your KC? Did you solo your KC? You have to actually ask them
Yeah, it has to be a
what they did.
manual thing at that point.
I think it's the same thing with how EHB works with alting versus no alting. Like you have to specify in the spreadsheet like hey, I did 1+1 nightmare, so give me less EHB because I'm killing more per hour. You know, like I wish they did that for the spreadsheets, but I don't know. I'm not involved in Olympus at all.
Yeah,
I just look up to the clan now that Phrase is gone. I don't really have any beef. It just seems like the best clan.
it's
Uh,
nice. I like it.
and Solitary is sort of like falling apart a little bit. I know there's still people in Solitary. They like it still, and I mean no ill intention to them. They can do their own thing. But yeah, Solitary is not for me anymore.
What are you in a clan?
I'm actually not in a clan, and I kind of like I kind of miss talking to like all sorts of like high level irons all the time. Like I miss that. Just talking to you, it's so refreshing. Just being able to talk to someone who's actually like got an Ironman on the same level as me,
Yeah,
and it feels good to talk to someone so familiarly about the game, because like the people that I usually talk to are like way less informed. Like I just talk to like random people that I was just friends with, like on Discord calls.
Yeah.
I'll just be talking to like just uh just random friends of mine, like IRL friends too, that are nowhere near the level of an account that I have. So they can't really relate to me at all, and I do miss that from solitary. And I get that sense talking to you, and that's why I enjoy talking to you so much, and why we've put so many hours into the Sae Bae cast already, is because like it's just really nice talking to people that are like on
Equally
the
as
same level
passionate.
as you, like
Yeah.
you can relate to. It just feels really good, and I do miss that, but I don't know how I could get my fix of that, being in a clan. I guess I could join Olympus and stuff, but I don't know. Like I'm pretty satisfied with my presence online at the moment. I'm a bit obscure. Like I sort of like, because I'm not in any clan. Like a lot of people, they just they don't hear from me ever, and they have to actually like DM me if they want to find out like how my progress has been going, because I don't have any social media or anything. I
Yeah.
don't stream,
Would
obviously.
would you make a Twitter?
I think I think I don't know. I do care about the game, but I don't care about the game that much to have a Twitter exclusively
RuneScape.
for RuneScape.
Okay.
Like I think I don't really like Twitter to begin with. Like
Nobody
I
does.
think it's a bit of
Well, some people
a
do.
circle jerk,
It is.
and I don't really like the circle jerk aspect of it
And
too much.
it does look like that, but it is easy to avoid it. Well, it's easier than I assumed because I joined Twitter thinking like I've heard of Twitter, but like you can make it very like non-toxic, and just very like positive community. You can make that yourself by like blocking people you don't want to fucking deal with, and
Yeah,
like
that's the thing, is that I don't like blocking people. Like I feel like that's a cop out. That's basically like hiding from people that you don't like.
it's not
And
even hiding from
but
people I don't. It's just like literally I don't want to fucking hear your shit, so I just ignore it.
yeah, there's some people that like I have put some people on my ignore list. Like holy fuck, I
Yeah.
really don't want to talk to them. Like just there's just no value to be gained from
Yeah.
talking to
No, because
people like
there's
that.
people on
I
Twitter
very
that'll
rarely block people.
there's people on Twitter that will just straight up just be an asshole to people, like just for no
Yeah,
reason.
I could see that.
So you just block them. Just don't listen to them. And it's not they're not being an asshole to you. It's just somebody else that you're seeing. You're like, what the fuck, dude? So you just block them so you don't have to see it. It's not like I'm trying to. It's not like a cop out to like, oh, you're disagreeing with me and you're being mean about it and directly to me, so I'm just gonna ignore you. It's like, no, I won't do that. I'll talk. But
Yeah, I do see the appeal of having Twitter, and like I have asked G Challenge to tweet Mod Ash stuff for me because I don't have a Twitter, and
yeah,
he does. He's the homie. He has a Twitter too. Go follow him. Shout out G Challenge again. Uh, but yeah, like I do feel kind of detached from the high level community, and just the way that like the discords that I hang out in. I'm not in like any like I'm not really active in any high profile Ironman discords, or any like high profile just anyone who plays the game at a high level. Uh, so I am quite detached from the high level community, and I don't really get to talk to gamers nearly as much as when I was in solitary, and I do miss that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with just hanging out with just the homies,
yeah.
average folk. And I get to be that guy with the popping off Iron Man account, so I do feel good for being in that position.
Okay.
But yeah, um,
We are.
I have or sorry,
No, no,
what's up?
go ahead. Like, I just
I was just gonna say I just have no social media presence.
yeah.
So yeah, if
No,
you
I would
wanna
really
know about
encourage
me,
you to make an iron. The reason I was interrupting is just because we have been going for like over 2 hours and we still haven't touched the topics that we want to talk about. So
I okay, I know it's gonna be a hell of a lot for someone to like this fan of the Sae Bae cast to watch. Like it's gonna look like 8 hours at this point. But yeah, we will be wrapping up. I didn't intend to talk about myself this much. I guess I just don't have much opportunity to talk about myself. But yeah, we have three really big topics that we need to discuss still
yeah,
before we can end the task. And I don't think we'll linger on it too long. So
we
yeah,
won't
we'll try to wrap up so that our poor viewers they can finally like
have a
feel like they
conclusion to it.
finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a conclusion to it, because I know like do you really want to listen to me talk for however many hours when you could be like listening to other guests. So yeah,
Let's let
we can move on to the next topic. But in conclusion, like I've grown as a player for so long over the 6 years of me just playing the game, and I've had all these wonderful experiences with all these different people, and yeah, I'm really grateful for playing the game. And that's Bcguppy in a nutshell. There you go.
well, to that person that said who, there you go. He probably
Yeah,
already left.
just my 1 hour spiel on who I am, dude.
So listen, you are a clue doer.
I
Probably
am a clue doer.
not as heavily as me, but you're a very avid clue. I'm looking here. You got over 4,400 clues completed and 413 elites, 343 masters, and over 1,000 hards. Very respectable. Do you have any third age?
I have no third age.
Gilded?
I have hit. Okay, so I've had like, I want to say like noted pots 6 times. I've had, I
Yee.
think, 4 pieces of gilded. I've had a gilded full helm, a gilded spear, a gilded 2H, and a gilded scimitar.
3 weapons.
Um, Also, I've received let me think. I think the only other mega rare table I hit, I got the cabbages from the master clue.
Ew, God, that's
I got the
awful.
3 cabbages, dude. You hate to see it.
All right, so I want to present something that I've been an advocate of for a long time, but it seems like I can't get my point across or my agenda passed. So, in this ramble for the next few minutes, I want to briefly explain why elite clues are fucked and why they need to be fixed. And I want to explain this in a clear and concise way for those that don't understand. We're going to focus on hards, elites, and masters. The chance, so from a hard clue, I'll bring up all of them. Let me just hide this real quick and bring them up. Hard clues, to get a piece of third age from a hard clue, a non-specific third age hard clue, or a third age piece from a hard clue, is a 1 in 3,250. I'll show you the exact rates right here. 1 in 211,000 per roll per casket. So that is like the chance of getting a specific third age. So it equals out, trust me on this, it's 1 in 3,250 for to get a piece of third age from a hard casket. And that seems pretty rare. Now, you have elites that drop. I'll show you real quick. That was the wrong thing. Elites have an additional 4 items, on the third age table. So not only is it a way worse chance, over double the chance per roll, I'm butchering this. It's half the rate basically to get. It's over half the rate. This is so fucking hard to explain. When you see a bigger number, you want to say double, but it's technically a smaller number, a 1 in 4, or it's basically 1 in 500,000 to get a specific third age. They're seeing this on their end. I think they'll understand. But basically, there's 4 additional third age items, and it's actually rarer to get a piece of third age from an elite. In fact, it's 1 in 5,750. So you're basically, if you had a hard casket and an elite casket, like, you are way more likely to get third age from a hard casket than an elite in every situation. In fact, I've even calculated the chance of, even with the mimic and a 1 in 35 mimic chance from the elite, you still will get third age more commonly from a hard clue than you would from every 35 elites you open having that mimic chance as well. That's how fucked elites are with third age. And masters, just to put into perspective, masters to get a piece of third age is 1 in 2270. So elites are not balanced, and I propose that elites be changed from a 1 in 5,750 for an elite clue, or for, I am ruining this, man. This is why I need to make a video that's edited and like I put in clips, so it's not just a fucking ramble about it. But I want them to change third age rates from 1 in 5,750 from elites to 1 in 2,750. It would put it exactly in between hards and masters, where it should be. And that I feel like would be a nice fix to elites, because currently everyone knows elites are just dog shit, and this would help just by increasing their third age rates. The other thing they could do as well is mimics from masters are 1 in 15 and mimics from elites are 1 in 35. I think it would be a great change to make it so elites drop, or elites can give mimics at 1 in 25 and even potentially 1 in 20. It would encourage people to do their elites rather than the current meta to just be do masters, because it has a pet chance, better third age, better mimic, better everything. I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much my proposal right now. That's what I want to have changed for elites. I need to make an actual video on it to like clearly explain this to people, but the people that do understand the math behind that, it's elites are fucked. What are your thoughts, Bcguppy?
I agree wholeheartedly. Elites are very fucked. Um, I want to explain why elite clue rates have been so fucked up, and why it's like sort of gotten out of control with every treasure trail expansion. So in 2014, I think is when the very first treasure trail expansion came out. This is when they added like a whole bunch of new stuff to every tier of clue basically. Um, so in their very first treasure trail expansion, they actually made the unique chance for uniques from every tier of clue. Uh, they improved them all so that the larger item pool wouldn't like make individual items rare. The argument they were using is they wanted ranger boots to keep the drop rate that they have, right, and not to become rare because the item pool and the unique tables are all bigger. So the chance of getting uniques from every tier of clue, I believe, before the expansion was 1 in 20. So every single tier of clue had a 1 in 20 chance every slot to hit the unique table for that tier, and they changed it to really strange numbers after that expansion. So from hard clues, it's 1 in 13. Easy clues, I believe they're 1 in 11, and or maybe mediums are 1 in 11, and then easies are 1 in 12. Yeah, I think easies are 1 in 12. Mediums are 1 in 11 because they added a lot of shit to mediums, and then hards are 1 in 13.
And is this
They
per
changed the
roll?
unique rate to really. This is per roll,
Okay.
yes. It used to be 1 in 20 per roll, and then they updated it that much.
Wow.
Going from 1 in 20 to 1 in 13 for hard clues, they really kept the third age rate in line, and since then, like at the time after the expansion, the unique list for like hard clues was like it was like over 100 things. Like the item pool was really big, and they've since done treasure trail expansions after that, like years later down the line. They've done a few at this point, and every time the item pools are made larger, but they haven't changed the unique rates. So things have been getting slightly more rare after they add like all sorts of like garbage items. I don't want to say garbage because some of them, like people do like some of them, but like they've made the list of unique items from every tier of clue larger, so things do get rare. So ranger boots have become more rare over time. But the thing that really got fucked over the most was elites. So in that very first initial treasure trail expansion is when they introduced elites. So elites have always had the same chance of hitting a unique per roll. It's 1 in 25 for elites, by the way, which is like absurd. Um, but at the time, elites only had 33 items on the unique table, which is really small, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Uh, and one of those slots was like the mega rare table. And another problem elites have is that the mega rare table is just so big. It has like 16 things on it, or even more nowadays. I'm not sure, but yeah, like they've added tons of items to elite clues, and they made that list of 33 unique items into like it's like over 50 now. Like I think they've almost doubled the rate of getting third age because they never adjusted the unique rate for like to hit the unique rate from elite clues. Like they never adjusted it to be more common
So
because there's a
fucked.
larger item pool. That's something that they forgot to
Oh
fix
my
going
god.
down the line, adding more treasure trail expansions, and it fucked up elites big time. The third age rate used to be very balanced from elites because at the time they had unique third age pieces like third age long and
Yep.
stuff, third age weapons, third age cloak. You were a baller back then if you had a third age cloak. Now it's all third age druidic is like the new hotness. But
I don't like
anyway,
druidic.
yeah, I uh I think it's cool that it's like best in slot prayer
Like I think it's
nearly, but
cool, but I don't actually like the look of it. It's not nostalgic enough, and I don't care about it.
what's your favorite third age piece?
Piece is the bow, 100%.
The bow is really
The
sick.
bow is the coolest piece standalone, but the fact that I have a shield and a plate body, I'd almost want the sword just slightly more at this point. Just
You'd
to,
be such a baller if you had a third age sword, dude.
and
Oh my
kite.
god.
Oh my god, dude. So that's the only reason,
Um,
just to be able to flex them. But I think bow standalone is the best. But yeah,
but anyway, to stay on my initial point, like they really fucked up by not making the unique rate from elites higher. Like it should literally 1 in 10 now. Like based on how many items they've added to the unique table. And I think the mega rare table is also way too big. So yeah, elites are in serious need of like making the uniques more common if they want to fix elites to make them better. Because like you said, the third age rate is obscene. It's so bad. Why can you get third age like way more from hard clues
yeah.
that
It's
take like
it's
way less time to
almost it's
complete?
almost double. It's almost one hard clue equals two elite caskets third age. It's almost at that point. Like you,
Masters have a pretty fair rate on third age, but elites need help. Like
yeah,
please, for the love of God, fix the fix elites to be like have that actual unique chance that was in line with what when elites were first introduced to the game.
yeah. No, it's like think about it. It's you would need one master casket. The third age chance of one master casket equals 2.5 elites, basically, for third age. I would need to open 5 elites to equal out the third age chance of getting 2 masters. And that's not including mimics or anything. That's just like basic rolls. It's so stupid. It's too,
Yep,
yeah.
I agree. I agree completely.
So what do you think? Do you think that one, instead of 1 in 5750, which it is now, to 1 in 2750 is fair?
That would be basically what I said, like make uniques from elites 1 in 10 instead of 1 in 25. Like that would fix it. It would make everything a lot more common.
And that's
Also,
what
it's
needs
really
to
dumb
happen,
that the
yeah.
tuxedo pieces are like on their own table. Like God, I wish tuxedo pieces were more common. Because like I really like that dark tuxedo set, and it's just sad that I would never
Yeah.
get that on my Ironman because it's such a like crazy grind. Oh my God, I have to kill 600,000 Sarachnis for this. Like, who would ever do that, dude? Who would ever kill 600,000
Some
Sarachnis?
psychopath.
Exactly. But yeah, the clues need their unique rates fixed, or not all clues. I think easy, medium, hard are fine, but elites like seriously need some love.
What do you think of changing the mimic rate on the elites? 'Cause currently it's 1 in 35 for a mimic. Um,
I would almost say that maybe mimics are too rare from even masters. Like maybe 1 in 10 master would be more fair, and then like 1 in 20 elite or something.
so you'd want to keep it like
Uh, or
double.
or even I don't know, like the getting third age from an elite mimic is different from getting third age from a master mimic. Like
Yeah, slightly.
like like the drop rates are different, so they could have just made the rate the same for both tiers, like just 1 in 10, just both tiers of two, and then like the thing that would actually be getting affected is the chance of getting third age from the mimic that you kill,
Yeah. No,
instead of having both those things apply at the same time, which doesn't really make
that
sense.
would legitimate if they just kept mimic rate at 1 in 15 and reduced the elite to 1 in 15, because elites already have a rarer chance to get third age from the mimic itself. If they literally just did that, it would actually make elites very appealing to do, because you can bang out
Yep.
elites very quickly.
To help those folks trying to get their music cape too, having to get that dumb music track from fighting the mimic.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that's
Uh,
my whole
yeah,
spiel on the elite clue. They need to be fixed, and I hope JMod reads this and or listens to this and understands that those rates need to be fixed. This is absurd. 1 in 488,750 when hards is 1 in 211,000. What the fuck? And then masters is even like better. It's like because there's so many other third age pieces as well with druidic and stuff. So
yeah,
and tools,
absolutely.
and then mimic makes it even better. But yeah, it's absurd. So my little spiel on that. Let's get into the Arceus Spellbook now. We don't
Yeah,
need
we're
to go. Yeah,
finally getting into these topics, dude. It feels like we're gonna get to the conclusion soon. It feels good.
we don't need to talk about everything, but I want to bring up the good things. You have a few things you want to talk about, and things that we probably haven't even considered. First thing I want to talk about though is the new where is it? Shadow Veil spell. So this spell right here
Oh yeah.
grants a 15% chance to avoid being stunned and damaged while pickpocketing NPCs. It will remain active for one game cycle, zero point 0.6 seconds for every magic level the user has. So at 99, it's almost a minute. This stacks with the effects of the dodgy necklace, granting a total of 40% chance to avoid being stunned and damaged while pickpocketing NPCs. Requires 47 magic, costs 5 earths, 5 fires, 5 cosmics. 5 cosmics. That's a good sync. Fuck. I like that.
Shadows, cosmic
And
runes.
grants 58 magic XP. So you're going to be at 99 magic. You'll be casting that every minute, spending that much. What do you think? I think it's
So
beautiful.
I don't think people are expecting this to be as good as it is, because you can get some crazy rates at fires with this change. So currently you can do about 800 picks per hour at fires with 99 thieving. Uh, and with this Shadow Veil spell, you can get 900. And if you multiply 900 by the amount of XP you get from pickpocketing a fire, like you're literally getting the same, like almost the same XP per hour as doing pyramid plunder. Like this is getting, this isn't even like becoming like a money making method for thieving. Like this is becoming like the XP method as well. Like just thieving fires for XP is now like really strong and very comparable to even blackjacking, which is crazy that the best money for thieving in the game is also the best XP. So I feel people in the high level community or the like the scaling community might bitch that, like, holy shit, thieving virus is 280k thieving XP per hour. This is like a little absurd. Like, yeah, it's gonna become really, really strong, not just for irons that are trying to get blood shards, but even for just mains getting XP. Like, you can make almost 3 mil per hour thieving virus. That's absurd money when skilling is concerned.
Yeah.
And I feel like this spell is just gonna make virus like a bit just too over the top good, and the blood shard price is just gonna tank hard. And then because the blood fury is so strong, and then you're going to see the blood shard price go down a whole lot because people are thieving virus for XP now. Uh, it's going to end up becoming Blood Fury Escape, and like you're going to see just everyone just using Blood Fury because it's so cheap.
So
And
let's think about this. Cosmics cost what, 100 GP each, just on average. I'm just assuming like 100. So
they're cheap. Like you
there's
can buy them
yeah.
from Priff. They're cheap.
So there's 5. Well, I'm just thinking for like a main account. Even I'm not even.
Oh yeah,
I think they're like 100 each. I'm not gonna go look at the actual price, and I don't care. But let's just assume it's 500 GP. I'm just thinking about a main. 500 GP per cast per minute. So times 60. That's 30k GP. That's it per hour. It's not even.
for a main that's nothing.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
fucking
even
nothing.
consider the rune cost. I never thought it would be relevant.
It isn't relevant. I thought it might be, but it isn't now. 30k GP, and you have to be casting it every minute. So you have to stay focused. You'll probably get a little warning in your text box saying like,
It's running out.
it just ran out or something. Recast it, which some people would think is very tedious, especially people that like foot pedal shit. But I think
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a good thing to kind of keep you engaged. People that are engaged, or I'm not trying to convince people to stay engaged thieving, but the people that do stay engaged, they're going to get benefited from it the most. So I think it's cool. Now I want to talk about the spell you were thinking about, or the few spells you were kind of mentioning. I'll bring it up. Do you have that thing pulled up? Or what
The Arceus Spellbook rework.
yeah.
Oh, I already know what I'm going to talk
Oh,
about
tell me. What's the spell?
in
What's the
detail.
spell called so I can look at it?
Okay, so there's a few spells that are going to be like used a crazy amount. The first one I want to talk about is Death Charge. Do you know what Death Charge is?
Death charge. Let me look. Um, okay, now I'm there. Let's see it. Well, here, let me read it and then you explain it, okay?
Sure.
Death Charge provides a buff to the caster that restores 15% special attack energy when a creature dies. Death Charge will remain active for up to 60 seconds and will expire if a creature has been killed, after which it must be cast again. Death Charge cannot be cast more than once every 60 seconds. Requires 80 magic, 1 death, 1 blood, 1 soul, 90 magic XP, restores 15% special attack energy, and can only be cast once every 60 seconds. Explain to me, because I know about this, and this was initially pulled as extremely busted, but I think they've kind of worded it better now. Tell me.
I'm gonna pitch it as it's still incredibly busted. The very first example I'm gonna use is Solo Nightmare. Parasites. If you bring Death Charge to Nightmare, you are going to claw almost every single parasite you get. Just think about that for a moment. Just every parasite, just one hit,
Oh, I'm
gone.
just I'm
Like
just thinking you have to
never
be on
healing.
Arceus Spellbook, so no harmonized orb.
That is true. However, there is another spell on the Arceus Spellbook that's also really powerful at Nightmare that we're gonna discuss later. But Death Charge at Nightmare is going to be crazy good. Okay, the Parasite, it's almost like the spell was designed for Nightmare because the Parasite spawns every minute, and that is exactly in line with Death Charge cooldown. Like every minute you
Really,
get
it's a
back
minute.
15% spec. Yep. So so yeah, every time you get a parasite death charge, you claw it, you get the spec back basically. And you can claw like 4 parasites in a row, but what it's also meaning is that the first sleepwalker you get um going from P1 to P2 nightmare, you can also SGS that and death charge off of that too. And you can also SGS more husks. Nightmare is
True.
just going to become a lot easier with Death Charge because you're going to have a lot more SGS specs off of husks and sleepwalkers, and the parasites are going to become like a joke, like just clawed every single time, and they always die every single claw hit.
Okay, I'm gonna need more incentive to do that. So what tell me more about Death Charge first, but the fact that I can't use a harmonized orb is deterring me from considering using this spell. But
Yep, for sure.
what other places
Um,
is Death Charge good?
Death Charge is going to have some significant use. I feel speedrunning solo CM possibly. I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than Vengeance, I think. But yeah, just the first example I'll use is you're killing Olm, right? Death Charge is going to proc every time you kill a claw at Olm, and especially in solo CM, where everything has higher defense, those Dragon Warhammer specs really matter. And if you're death charging every single claw at Olm, like let's say there's 6 claws in a solo Olm, right? That's like 15% times 6 basically. So you're getting 90% spec back. That like you're basically getting 2 Dragon Warhammer specs extra because of Death Charge. And it's not like you're using like your spellbook at Olm at all. Like you're not using
Yeah.
Vengeance at Olm. So getting 2 additional Dragon Warhammer specs is huge, just on its own. But it's also gonna make other bosses better. Like I'm just brainstorming here, trying to think of like all the bosses that are in Chambers of Xeric that you could be using Death Charge on as well. Like actually, what I want to talk about first of all is the potential for abuse that Death Charge has because the thing procs when you kill something, right? But
Yep.
you don't actually necessarily need to like even be doing content where you're killing stuff as long as you like for example, you could be bringing the Arceus Spellbook to solo CM, and what you can do is you can set up a cannon in a room that has a single rat spawn, and you can like just leave the cannon running while you're raiding, and you can still activate Death Charge every time that rat dies to that cannon. Like you can have your cannon just like somewhere random in the game. I don't know where the most optimal spot to put it is yet, but you could even like have an alt that's like babysitting your cannon. Like it has aggro on the rat, and it's like every time you need a Death Charge on your main, you just have the alt lure the rat to the cannon, and that triggers Death Charge. So now what we're starting to think is that like holy shit, you can activate Death Charge every minute consistently with like altscaping,
Jesus
and it's gonna have
Christ.
a huge impact on speedrunning. Especially stuff like Hespori. I know G Challenge is really theorizing what you can do at Hespori to like make the world record more optimized with death charge. But yeah, you can like activate death charge and then start the Hespori fight right before it runs out.
So what would you?
Like dragon throw and expect the flowers, and then
Yeah, yeah.
activate death charge again, and you get those spec bar back, so you can Halley at the end. Like there's a lot of potential for the spell.
So what would you? I mean, the Hespori thing you wouldn't need a cannon because you could just kill one of those little flowers if those flowers
Yeah,
count.
exactly.
But I'm thinking, okay, to deter people from just having, like you said, having an alt outside of chambers, like firing and shit, and like having an alt lure a rat there every minute. Do you think they would just have to make it so cannons can't proc it, but you would need to actually do the final blow with your character? Or do you feel like
That would make sense. I just want to like if I was a developer and I was theory crafting something like this, I would let it slide at the beginning, like just
just to
see what the
see?
community can
Yeah,
do, just to see just how broken this is. Because like yeah, it could seriously have a lot of room for abuse to have like basically just like an engine somewhere in the game of an alt and a cannon
literally.
just giving you spec over time. You could even abuse this in PvP. God, imagine that. Like imagine just doing all kinds of combos because you have a cannon in Narnia that no one can see that you know is there, and you're just like,
Shit.
yeah, it
Well, if
has a
you're in
lot of
singles, you
room for
wouldn't be
abuse.
able to.
Yeah, that is true. But if you were like hitting your opponent enough and they were
Oh, they weren't
like
doing
eating
anything.
food,
Yeah,
as soon as you are not in combat anymore,
true.
your cannon would start killing the rat
Jesus
again, and
Christ.
you would get a death charge if your opponent eats too much. So even in single combat, it would have an effect,
That's true.
I feel.
No, it would.
Yeah, Death Charge is really being slept on. I think it has a lot of potential to be good, not just because of Death Charge, but because of the other spell that's going to be used a shit ton because of how strong it is. I don't know if you want to like go over the Arceus spells and like.
We can go over the ones that are like significant. I mean,
Okay,
that's literally
sure.
what
So
I
I'll
want to
I'll
do.
just
I want you
I'll
to.
just talk about I'll just talk about Necromancy then, if
Okay.
that's all right.
Yeah. No, I want you to talk
So
about everything that makes any sort of difference. And let me go to necromancy first, though.
if you want to just explain to the cast what the Necromancy spells do
Yep. Let me. Is it
real
in a
quick.
reanimation spell?
I
No,
don't know
that's
what
not
it's
it.
called. I think reanimation is for the insult heads,
You're right.
isn't it?
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Resurrection. You ready? To
Mm-hmm.
perform a resurrection spell, players will need to equip a Book of the Dead. If a spellbook rework passes in this poll, the new which it did, okay. The new magic book would be obtained as a reward from a kingdom divided, acting as an upgrade to the completed Carrot's memoirs. The Book of the Dead would provide +6 magic attack and +3 prayer bonus. Completion of a Kingdom Divided is required to equip this book. Drawing upon the power of defeated creatures, resurrection spells bring to life an undead thrall that will aid you in battle. This will require runes and prayer points, and only one thrall can exist at a time. Thralls will remain active for one game cycle, zero point 0.6 seconds for every magic level. So again, if you're 99, it would last a minute. For example, if a thrall is resurrected when you're magic level 60, it will last for 36 seconds before dying. Resurrection Thrall will not act like a typical follower. They will wander the area where they were created and attack anything the player attacks, provided the target is within range. It is possible to resurrect a Thrall throughout most of Gielinor, even if the undead creature being resurrected at the time is not present in that area. Certain exceptions to this will apply where the aid of Thrall will not be possible, much like how setting up dwarf multi-cannons is not possible in specific areas. A resurrected thralls all resurrected thralls, will attack at a rate of 4 game cycles, one attack every 2.4 seconds. Thralls cannot be damaged and their attacks ignore accuracy checks, but it will still be possible for them to hit 0 at times. Whilst their damage ignores accuracy checks, protection prayers will reduce their damage accordingly. Thralls will not aid you in PvP combat or situations. Whether these mechanics should be available all over the game world in every combat situation is something we're considering. Here are some possibilities if you feel like they should be restricted further. Yeah, they just give us a few things like saying should it only work in singles or Corendon Lab or
I
Cabo
think
Sawbones.
I don't think any of that actually happened. I think it currently you can use it anywhere,
Yeah,
literally.
I think that's what
But
they've said. Yeah, so what is that even useful anywhere?
okay, so again, I'm gonna go to the Solo Nightmare example.
Okay.
So and there's a bit of ambiguity with how they're proposing this. So if you cast a spell and it causes like an attack delay, that is going to be a tremendous nerf that it won't be getting used everywhere in the game like Vengeance it currently is. There's a 0 time damage spell, but anyway, summoning the highest level Thrall, it's a zombie. It has a max hit of 2, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you think about it, like people literally like pay like mills for like +1 strength on like primordial boots, and if you consider the max hit of 2 on the Thrall, like actually adding max hits on your character, like people would be outraged if there was a spell that increased your max hit.
And no accuracy
And
rolls
this
either.
is,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's better than 2 max hits. It always hits. So it's even more absurd. But because it's attached to a Thrall, people aren't discussing it like oh my god, I'm getting 2 max hits. They're more seeing it as just something weird that they don't really understand because it's kind of a foreign concept
it very much is.
to make thralls that do damage for you. But yeah, like the additional DPS that you get from this thrall is very significant. Um, Adding max hits, it basically essentially just boils down to it adding max hits onto your character. So this has application everywhere in the game. So the Nightmare example I want to use because Death Charge is already really strong at Nightmare, because you can SGS more Sleepwalkers, you can SGS more Husks, etc. But this spell on top of it, like you're getting what is it? It's like, is it 30 damage a thrall that you make like every minute? I calculated it out to be like over the course of a nightmare solo, if you're like using a scythe and stuff, you're summoning like 10 thralls, and that's like you're doing like 300 to 400 damage from thralls, and that's saving you nearly a full minute off the kill time. Whereas
Jesus.
going from a trident or a sang to a harmonized staff, it's only like people really overstate it, but it it's more like a 30 to 40 second time save bringing a harmonized staff compared to a trident because the pillar phase is just so quick. Um, so already just assuming, okay, first of all, assuming that the thrall like doesn't have an attack delay when you summon it, summoning it
Yeah, let's
doesn't cost
assume it
any
just
combat
poof.
ticks.
Yeah.
If it doesn't cost any combat ticks, you can use it at Nightmare and you save a full minute off of every completion time, and that is faster than using a harmonized staff. So already, like we talk about how
Well,
items should
let's
be good at the
let's
place you get them, but
let's think about this as well. Let's just consider like what Nightmare really does. So there's pillar phases. Would it go and run and kill pillar phases? And can those thralls die?
the thralls are indestructible.
Indestructible. Okay, so if they go in the little flower zone, the bad flower zone, they can't die or
They
anything.
live, yeah. They're intangible. They cannot be harmed in any way.
So I'm just assuming the pillar phase will be the detriment where it won't actually do as much. Maybe it won't quite do a minute because when you're
Yeah,
casting on
your
different,
zombie is gonna like really struggle like getting to the pillars
yeah,
when it's only hitting twos.
you'd have to
But
be, yeah,
you can summon a skeleton instead that has a range attack, and then that could hit pillars for you and that could help. But I mean, I'm not even like considering the pillars as being relevant
yeah.
because
Well,
the
I'm just thinking
damage you
because
do to the
that
nightmare
takes time.
itself is
Like
huge.
that's probably 3 minutes of the kill, like pillar phases, or maybe even 4 minutes of the
Yeah, it
kill.
is.
So
But yeah, the husks are, or sorry, not husks. The you know what? The husks are basically like thralls in a way. It's like Nightmare originally like was the first one to start using the reanimation spells
can
or the
these?
resurrection
So as soon as one dies, can you just recast it?
instantly. Yes,
Fuck. This is okay.
and that's what. Yeah,
When I first thought about resurrection, I thought it was you are doing a zombie task and you can turn one of the zombies against them and then it dies like and it can do twos. That's literally what I thought resurrection. I didn't know it was actually creating something. I thought you were like turning something against. I thought you were like resurrecting. It had to be like an undead creature already, and you could resurrect it. So like killing zombies and shades and shit. But
that
this
would make a lot of sense.
but this is just straight up generating a thrall. It's just
Yep,
generating
just out of
something
nowhere.
that's not even there in the first place.
It's like summoning just a very tame version of summoning.
Holy fuck, dude. This actually is making me not want to do Wintertot anymore or craft
Yep.
Rathrooms.
This is going to okay. So I don't know if it's gonna be like this on launch. Like, who knows? Maybe you just won't be allowed to use the thralls at all in Nightmare. But yeah, if it turns out you can use the zombies at Nightmare, and like there's no attack play or anything like that, then this is going to seriously devalue the Harmonized Orb, because it's not going to be best in slot at Nightmare anymore. Like, everyone and their nan is going to be PVMing like on the Arceus Spellbook because of that zombie DPS, and also Death Charge for more special attacks is also a really nice added bonus to that. And what
Okay.
this Arceus Spellbook is doing is it's going to like it's just gonna wreck a lot of bosses where like you don't even use Vengeance anymore, like because the husk, or I keep calling it a husk, the zombie that you can summon is going to be better DPS in most places than Vengeance will be. And it's just like it is a lot of inventory space that you have to bring, because you have to bring a lot of runes, like a shit ton of runes. But
Okay,
and also the book too for the zombie. But
here's my question. You just need to equip the book to initially cast it,
that's correct.
and so you can take it off and the thrall will remain active.
I believe so, but again, like maybe they were ambiguous with it and they didn't mention that. But with the way that they've worded it, that's how it would work. Yes.
Okay. So now I was confused because all I saw was the resurrection portion. Now I'm actually looking at the certain things you can resurrect. Ghosts are magic. Um, Skeletons are range, like you said, and then zombie is the melee damage. Wow. So what do you think, because it doesn't roll off anything of the like it doesn't have any like accuracy roll or something, or it's like always successful? Do you think one of the one of them would just always be best?
Well, the zombie is usually the best. Uh, the ghost, it
Oh
only
wait.
has a max hit of one.
Ooh,
Uh,
now I'm looking. Okay.
hang on. Does the wait a sec? So I said it was a max hit of two. I think the
Ghost
zombies
is
has a max hit of three.
Ghost is max hit of 1, yeah, and the melee zombie has a max hit of 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then yeah, that's
Fuck.
essentially three max hits. Like, holy shit. Um, the
Holy
ghost is
crap.
never gonna get used anywhere. Even at Nightmare, like it would do double damage on the pillars, right? But
Yeah.
that would just be equal to a skeleton at that point.
Yeah.
So it would be just a cheaper variant to a skeleton, I suppose. Uh,
Holy shit,
yeah,
dude.
the it's just lower level equivalents basically. Like, you're gonna be using the zombie like most of the time, unless you can't hit something with melee for some reason, in which case
This
you'll
is
use the skeleton.
this is crazy. I initially read this without any real context, and you're providing that, and Jesus Christ, this sounds fun. Like, it actually sounds fun. It
People are really sleeping on this. It could have the potential to be crazy strong.
Yeah. I wonder
I'm
if
not,
the
oh,
enemy
go
will
on.
ever target the thrall, or the thrall is just this thing that's ignored by NPCs.
It's like a pet. It's just
Okay,
ignored.
because I was just thinking, like, if you're doing like 4-0 at Ulm and you have your fucking thrall like
Just chilling.
just not turning Ulm's head for you, like, god damn it. Like, yeah.
Dude, actually, I didn't even think of that. Imagine just a thrall just like camping on the left claw, and like
It
imagine
would be
like mage
attacking
skipping
anything
in a
you are
solo.
though. So maybe it wouldn't really turn head properly sometimes.
It would have an effect of just having
This
who knows? We'll have to wait and see. There's
this sounds
a
fucking
lot of
exciting.
theory crafting that needs to be confirmed when it comes out. But yeah, it is really exciting. I've only used Nightmare as an example.
Yeah.
Like it could be used. You could be using it
Sarachnis.
Sarachnis for
Oh,
all I
all
know.
day. All day.
Just
It
your
would be
little
my
zombie
little.
fella just like running around,
Yeah,
just
and he
whacking
couldn't get trapped by
Sarachnis.
webs either. And
Yep, just full DPS.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I've attacked Sarachnis and I'm stuck, he can still run over there and start attacking.
Hmm.
Holy shit. I want this now.
We'll see if it is too OP and it needs nerfing in the future, or even deleted.
You know,
Who knows?
I think it's really cool. I think it's a really just cool idea, and you can't ever be on any other spell book, which kind of just it's just cool, man. Like, I know it's probably going to be absolutely busted in some places, but it sounds fun and new.
It's gonna be a lot of fun on launch, like
Yeah.
just messing around with that with that spell book in general. Like I think like all the demon bane spells and stuff are pretty dead content, but the death charge, just comboing death charge with the zombies are gonna be like wild. We'll see what that actually does to the game, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen, or seeing how OP it is exactly. It'd be cool if I could start doing solo CM on the Arceus Spellbook, and
Yeah.
that was like my thing.
Holy shit, man. It's like actually, it just sounds so exciting.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to stuff like this. That again, like I said this on the previous cast, but like this is why I still play this game is because I'm looking forward to new updates so
Yeah,
much, and like I'm always theory crafting what could potentially happen with updates.
that's so
It's
cool.
exciting stuff.
Was there anything else in the Arceus spellbook that really caught your attention, or are most things pretty basic?
I know you were a fan of the prayer stuff, like the
Yeah, so
scattering ashes and whatnot.
yeah, there's a spell that basically it's called demonic offering, so it converts up to 3 piles. I'm reading it here of demonic ash into prayer points, granting 3 times the base experience. So basically, they have these new ashes coming out. Serb's becoming a demon, and they're giving good ashes that give good prayer XP. And I'm thinking of certain skilling methods where you can basically 0 time these demonic offerings. Um, and yeah, because like for example, one of the examples comes to mind is runecrafting. Now, runecrafting is probably not the most optimal, but there's a runecrafting method I came out with where you blow glass on your way to the lunar altar, um, or the astral altar, I should say, and
That's really cool.
like this is just a simplified version of it where instead of having to drop the orbs afterward, it just instantly gets consumed. And there's very few spells where you can use something, get XP from it, and then it's just gone. It's like gone from your inventory, you know? So this is something where I don't know. I'm like thinking of certain potential methods where
Good.
we
I'll just give a quick example I can think of. Just
yeah.
collecting white berries in the wilderness. You don't need to bring anything. You could just bring enough runes for all the spell, like to cast a spell. Um, and, like you POH to get to the portal to Anakarl, and then you run over to Lava Dragons with your looting bag. And by the time you get to the white berries, like you've already used the spell, and you've run out of runes, and you have no more ash in your inventory, and you've used it 0 time on your way to the white berries
Yep.
just to collect them.
And I'm thinking Hallowed Sepulchre is a great place to load up your inventory before each run
Oh
with
yeah,
ash.
oh yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that.
There's just a lot of places where you don't really have to have a full inventory of this, or you don't have to have full inventories anyway. And so these ash, you can load it up and just use it every 3 seconds, every 5 ticks, it says.
It pretty much just turns prayer into fletching for mains. Like holy shit,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yep. It's pretty it's pretty good. It costs 1 soul and 1 wrath. That's the interesting part. Wraths are going to be, but I think they're coming out with that Temple Guardian or Guardian of Gillinor or whatever the hell it's called. That new runecrafting minigame they've
Oh,
been
that rune
speaking of.
crafting minigame. I really want to craft bloods of the true
Me
blood
too,
altar,
dude.
dude.
We've been talking
Holy
about
shit.
that. I really hope it's kind of what we're hoping. Like, it's actually good. It's funny because, so for those that, I don't think I've even told this to people, but Bcguppy and I were talking at the Crafting Guild, and we were both really excited about the new Blood Altar under Mauritania. Bcguppy actually, like, basically marked out a path. Like, the quickest way is with, like, a fairy ring getting to there, which I didn't even know there was a fairy ring that put you
Yeah, that's
anywhere near
wild. Like
there.
I was looking at the map, like trying to find the most efficient way to get to that altar, and there's a fairy ring in the
Tunnels, basically.
Mirror
Yeah. Yeah.
hideout. Like I was shocked that there was a fairy ring in such a weird spot. But
Yeah.
yeah, that fairy ring's actually like the best way to get to that altar if you were to just run there. And it's decent. It's like it takes a minute and a half to get there, sure, but like if you could just craft like if you could craft for example double blood runes um at that altar, then you would, even if you just ran there, like going down that long winding tunnel from a fairy ring, you could still craft like you could make the same money per hour basically as crafting double deaths or double nats in the abyss at 99.
That's so cool.
So
I,
even without an abyss to get to that blood altar, it would still be like decent if you got double runes per essence.
I'm excited to see what they do with it. But what I'm terrified is the Temple Guardian minigame itself is going to give so many runes that it's going to make like other methods obsolete. Like for example, if you can get bloods and wraths and deaths from the minigame itself and it's giving a really decent amount with good XP, like would you ever craft them like exclusively, you know?
It would devalue the shit out of crafting wrath
Yeah.
runes for sure.
So I'm worried. That's what I'm worried about. But the rune crafting outfit sounds awesome, and Colossal Pouch, not really sure. I think the biggest change to rune crafting I would like to see is them getting rid of the 4 tick delay at most altars where you just can't craft after 4 ticks.
That'd be a nice change.
Yeah.
I my opinion on rune crafting, I think it's kind of like it scales really bad right now, and the fix is like even something as simple as getting all of the XP for every rune that you cast or for every rune that you get, for example, like would be a good change for some scaling level uh for some scaling down the line where you can like I don't know like actually craft like elemental runes and get a decent amount of them, and then you're getting like all right XP as well. Like if you want air runes, like currently you just buy air rune packs, but why can't it be viable just like make your own air runes?
It's actually I've actually it's really funny. I was actually about to post a video of me crafting air runes. I was using skills necklaces and basically I just teleport right outside of the crafting guild and I'd run to the air altar. There's no other faster way. And I was actually crafting quite a bit, and the XP was like 20 something K ish. I think it was like 20K ish an hour. And I was like, you craft like 600, 700 airs every single trip, and they're very fast trips. But like, obviously, buying packs is way better, but it's like, it was,
It'd be cool if you could craft like 100,000 air runes per hour would be a nice number
yeah.
at 99. That'd be awesome.
And like decent XP, maybe like 25K, 30.
Just you know, give value to runes that you actually get from rune crafting. You know, like if you want to get your own air runes, your 99 rune crafting, you should be able to get a reasonable amount of air runes at 99. Like, and this should go for every rune in the game. Like, if you want to make chaos runes, you could do that. If you want to make death runes, you could do that. If you want to make cosmic runes, you could do
Dude,
that. Like,
have you ever entered the Chaos Altar, like the true Chaos Altar?
uh-huh,
What the
uh-huh.
fuck? What the fuck is that place, dude? Like,
So
you have to do it through the abyss. Like, there's no feasible way to pull that
and
shit
it's
up.
like the abyss is closer to a bank
I
anyway.
know, no,
Like,
the whole thing is just fucked.
literally, like the chaos altar is so silly. Like it's just a meme. Like you have to go through this crazy labyrinth just to get to the altar.
I know.
You know what's wild is there's a shortcut to the chaos altar, like through like they added a quest
Oh
in like
yeah,
2006 or something that was a shortcut to the chaos altar, but you still had to do that dumb shit in the actual chaos altar itself, I believe, or maybe not. I don't really know because that shit is like ultra dead content.
oh my god,
You're
it's
never gonna see
unbelievable.
anyone crafting chaos runes through that shortcut.
Nobody crafts them in general, but yeah, especially with how shit that is. I've always been really like hoping that one day they'll accidentally overlook something where they add a teleport to a nearby altar and then just fucks up RC for a little bit. Like I've always looked at the map and just been thinking of the best ways with all the new teleports they've added in recent years to like see if there's a way to get to an altar quicker. And I mean, obviously we have like the fire altar, which craft lava super quick.
Jagex is so scared to make your rune crafting better XP.
Oh, they're
Like they're so
terrified.
terrified. You look at every other skill, it's like agility, like 50% faster.
Yep.
And then and then you look at rune crafting, it's hardly changed at all, even since launch. Like lavas have been basically the same the whole time.
Yep.
That rune crafting has been so carefully kept. The XP rates have been so you know, maintained over the years. I know there's the community has grown up and there's a lot more running nowadays for mains than ever. Like running runes
Yeah.
to your main crafting lavas or something. But yeah, other than that, like rune crafting has remained the same XP per hour. And rune crafting, in my opinion, is way too slow. Like it needs to be a bit faster to have more of a sense of progression. Or if you're not going to make it faster, at least make it better money. Like why is thieving one of the fastest 99s in the entire game? Why is that like literally the most profitable skill?
I know. That was kind of funny.
It's yeah, runecrafting is really poorly balanced, I think. I know you really like runecrafting and you hated the Zaya runecrafting methods
Hate
that were
that
added.
shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I
I
think
love traditional
runecrafting needs fixed
RC.
personally.
Like, I don't know. It's just the it's
I really
yeah.
enjoy crafting wrath runes.
Yeah, just
Crafting
chill.
wraths is really nice.
Yeah, it's chill.
Nice and rewarding, decent XP, just really rewarding. Just I actually get to use you know, the runes that I craft for my harmonized stuff. Like the wrath
That
runes
and
actually
that was
I
the
actually use them.
that was the beauty of cosmic runes and at once upon a time back when there wasn't a cosmic rune shop.
Yep,
Now
I was a cosmic crafter because there was no good way of getting cosmics other than like literally corp
and it was
was like
nice because
the
it's like,
only way
okay,
to get
this
cosmics.
this is actually funding some of my goals. Like I need to eventually, charge air orbs. This is great, and this is the only way I can do it. Like it makes you feel so much better training the skill when it's like, hey, this is the way to do it. Now there's fucking shops. Why the fuck did Jagex add a magic shop that sold 250 cosmics at a cheap price in Priv?
It used to be they used to be so careful. Every shop used to sell 20 cosmics in
Yep.
stock, and then they add prif. It's like
Like
250.
why? Why did you do
Why?
that? You were literally against like shops becoming great, and then like just Shopscape. They are against Shopscape. They've like actively said that they don't want Shopscape to be a thing. That's why they're so. That's why they haven't added blood rune packs because they don't want to do it. But like, why did you ruin cosmics? I don't know. It's just
What
sad.
makes me the saltiest is that the same shop that ruined cosmics didn't fix blood runes.
I
Like,
know.
why can't you buy blood runes there? Why does the price have to be so gross after you buy 10? It's like
I know. Why does
bloods are like
every
600 each
shop
now. Like,
if
why?
why doesn't every shop just be streamlined? I understand the Magic Guild requires a magic level and shit, but
Dude, it's like
it's so
what? It's
arbitrary.
like 66
I know.
mage.
It's like, dude, you need to unleash new shops if you're gonna keep Shopscape a meta, which it has always been and always probably will be unless they change something. Like you have to make magic shops have more than one shop where it's the best by far. The price only goes from 400 to 500 buying out 250 in Magic Guild. At the
It's
at
cheap.
at the Wildy shop it goes from 400 to 800 and even that's like decently cheap, which is
Well, the stock is huge
yeah, it's
there. It's like
500.
500
But
bloods
if you
compared to
go
250.
dude, if you go to wherever that place is in Lunar Isle, the little house, that bird house you go in, the rooster fucking house.
Yep.
Dude, the price. I'm literally going to do this as a test right now. It goes up past 1,000. I'm gonna show people non-irons this right
Oh
now.
no.
It is fucked. Okay, let's bring my gloves just in case. I'm literally going to test this right now. You're gonna see how fucked up it is for irons. Like mains complain, they're like bloods are almost 400 GP each. Like bitch, I've been paying
We're
basic.
paying bank for those.
I've been paying basically 550 to like pretty much 550 GP for each of my bloods if I looked at it because I've had times where I'm just impatient and buy full stocks at Wildy. Okay, let's see. Price right now 400. Let's buy 50. 600. Jesus Christ, this is not good. 800. 1,000 all of a sudden. They're 1,200. By the end, when they have one left, they cost 1,396 coins for a blood rune.
That's absurd.
Why? Like, do people understand now? Like, Jesus, fuck.
The blood rune demand for the high level Ironman community is so high that like a single shop isn't gonna cut it. We need more shops, dude.
And it
Like
wouldn't even
that
make
can
a
sell bloods.
difference, especially the one in Priv. If you're gonna add the privilege of buying cosmics, why didn't you make it cheap? Like, why didn't you make the runes cheap and sell blood runes there that are cheap? That's so dumb. I mean, I'm against Shopscape in the first place, but the fact that like you basically have to do it for blood runes, like you got to make more shops available. Is
More than
stupid.
anything, I just like that it gives use for your GP from a high level Ironman perspective, once you're finished your construction, like what do you use GP on? Like realistically, like
Smithing
if it
and
wasn't for
shit. Yeah.
buying blood runes, like it's nothing. Like I really enjoy that GP has that value still. Like if you get Alks from like killing Vorkath or something, it's not useless on your account. You can go and buy blood runes for your scythe and for your Sang, which is very relevant. It
Yeah.
gives value to GP, and it's just the whole buying from the shops themselves thing is just kind of ass.
But yeah, that's there's issues with this game. As much as we love it, there's still just issues. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I have so many ideas for how to improve the game, dude. Like I feel like if I worked at Jagex or something, I could really do a good job and make the game better for all different kinds of people.
Yeah, more balanced and just that's the
Uh-huh.
thing that really helps is like streamlining things. I've never gotten into this in a Sae Bae cast, but really reworking mini games and not like reworking them like just making them OP or anything, but just balancing dead content that used to be good, but it's never been touched in any update whatsoever, and it's just garbage. Like one of the examples is I want Dorgeshin, that whole place with you picking that what's it called, that wire,
Cave Goblin Wire.
cave goblin wire. There it is. Yeah, that you pick that stuff, like you thieve it, you get no XP, takes forever to get it, and then you use it on your orbs to make them light up, and then you go around the city fixing lamps. They could have actually made that a very, they still can. They can make it, and I've actually kind of gone around and done some math on it. I would need like other players to like help me out with it. But we could seriously make a mini game, a crafting slash fire making mini game, where not a mini game, but just something you could do on your own, kind of like Mahogany Homes in a way, where it's like you run around the city repairing these lamps, and it would give decent XP, and it would make it so irons with hundreds of thousands of these useless orbs would have a reason to go use them. They could streamline getting wire, getting it faster or something like that. Maybe giving double wire, double XP. Not that sounds fucked. Just saying the word double XP, but just improving the XP rates and thieving. Like all of a sudden, you have this new, like these orbs that you're making that have no use can now have a use, and it's actually fun. You could go run around the place fixing lamps, and you could go, and they right now the lamps are broken to like player specific people, like so it's like nobody else is seeing your broken lamps. Like you could,
Yep.
if somebody else fixes it, you wouldn't see it, but it could be like a fun mini game. You could see other people running around the fucking place fixing these lamps and getting like actually competitive XP rates, where instead of just the whole skill of crafting is cast this lunar spell, blow the glass, done. Like you could make it
I just
competitive
like
activity.
that I just like bringing light to areas like this that are dead content. No pun intended, by the way. Bringing light to
Yeah.
Dorgishkon, literally, please. Uh, like you never go there,
Yeah.
and it would be nice if it had like something just that was appealing to
And
go
I've
for.
always kind of like right now, like I'll show you, I'll show the chat like what so I've actually collected cave goblin wire for fun like a long time ago, and it's just been in my bank. But like look how cool this is to have these lamps and these orbs. Like when you collect these, if these could be streamlined to actually be able to collect a decent amount an hour and make it like worth your time. Like look how, oh wait, should I fuck that up? Look how enjoyable this is to just get like massive XP drops like this. Like you could just stack up, and then that becomes part of the skill where you're just, I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to revive some life in Dorgeshin, and that's one of the ways. And then you run around the place fixing lamps. That sounds fun. And
I
then
like that a lot.
on top of it, you could even get rewarded. I know like the player base loves loot crates. You fix a number of lamps, and you get these fucking crates from the village center that they're like, oh shit, you've been fixing our lamps. Here, take this crate. Has random shit in it, like every other Jagex update. So, I mean, people like it. So, just trying to appeal to everybody. Get little loot crates at the end. Repair milestones of lamps. You repair 1,000, you get a bonus. But there's so many little options, and it just revives this like really charming content that used to be kind of cool. You know what? Also, I want to have buffed. Listen, do you know what perfect shells are, or perfect tortoise shells and snail shells are.
Are those from temple trekking?
Yeah, so the snail shells are from temple
Oh,
trekking.
they're so rare, dude.
Yep.
They're rare and they give nothing if you take it to that
They
guy
give
who buys
600
bones from you.
crafting XP. But
It's awful.
but the cool thing is that if there was a way to get those like a lot of them, because they're so fucking rare, it's not worth it. And the tortoise pen up in the gnome stronghold also gives perfect tortoise shells at a very
Oh, that's
absurd
cool.
rate, and they also give 600 crafting XP. And I actually got a couple from there. I got pretty lucky, but it's not worth your time whatsoever. But what would be cool is if you stack up a bunch of them and just have this unleash of just boom,
Oh
like
my god.
like 200k crafting XP, like boom, let's fucking go, Like that sounds fun, and it's really sad that it's not balanced well because they're so fucking rare to get. But yeah, you turn it into the same guy, you turn in like curved bones too, and that unleash of like construction XP is always super exciting for people. That crafting though, to get all those perfect shells, that'd be really cool.
I like stored XP like that, where you just
I
like
love it.
unleash just all 1 XP drop. On the topic of temple trekking though, have you ever grinded out nail beast nails?
Yeah, I actually did temple trekking early on in my account, and then I got all the like rogues purses or whatever the fuck other weed you need to get.
Did you know you could tick manipulate the snakeweed?
I didn't, because I didn't do it when I knew about tick manipulation. Well, I knew about it, but I never did it.
That's a video idea for you. I'd like to see you do 3-tick snakeweed, because you can 3-tick it when usually it's like 11 tick or something. Like collecting snakeweed the normal way is extremely slow, but
So,
but theori theoretically on a main you can tick manipulate snakeweed because it's the only untradeable component of making sandfuse. Because the nail beast nails are tradable, so in theory, you can make sandfuse as like an XP method for a main, like a profitable way of training herblore. It is possible,
wow.
but
I
yeah, like
it's funny you mentioned that, because it just reminded me of the uh whatever those little jungle bushes where you're doing the Tybo one eye cleanup, those little light, medium, and dark bushes or whatever that you hack at to get your favor up.
yep.
It was so interesting because there is a way to tick manipulate it, but it's fucking weird. But then I saw a Reddit post that got a shit ton of traction, and it was talking about how the jungle actually works. And it was the weirdest fucking thing, and then it off put me from trying to do it, because their calculations made the whole minigame seem really fucked, and I couldn't be asked to like read into it anymore. And so my whole like tick manipulation plan video just like went out the window, because I was like, dude, I need to like actually study this, like sit down and study this and make sure I'm doing this efficiently. But
The wiki apparently also made the statement on that Reddit post that like you can tick manipulate it, but it's like super scuffed.
it's so
And
annoying. It's
like you
actually
have to write a scientific thesis on like how just to be able to tick manipulate this shit. And the post is really dumb because, or the post isn't dumb, but the mechanics are really dumb because you could be like level 30 woodcutting and hacking away at the highest tier jungle, like the thickest
Yep.
jungle, and that was your best chance of a go-tuber. Like it's so backward ass. Like just Karamja in general is just spaghetti
Dude,
code city, dude.
you know what's really funny? So I spent like a couple hours one day trying to. So I'm in Shiloh Village right now crafting stuff, and I'm looking at the jungle outside, and that nature altar is just like right outside of the wall. And there's an achievement diary cape teleport that teleports you into that dude's like little hotel service place up that ladder. And so now that the cape has unlimited teleports, you basically just climb down that ladder, and then you can see the nature altar from there. And so if there was a way to like almost break through the wall of Shiloh Village, somehow hack through it, like, or I was even trying to use the gravestone method. So what I was trying to do is get my gravestone really close to the wall and then see if I could be outside of it and like see the gravestone.
Oh, interesting.
I was doing a bunch of shit trying to find a way. And then what I even tried to do was, how you can like run faster if you light fires going west?
Yeah.
I was trying to break through the wall, like skipping a tile, like trying to break through the wall from the west side. And like, I was just trying all these random things to get out of here. This place is indestructible. Like you can't pass through here. There's even on the walls of Shiloh Village, there's like just diagonals that are making the wall where it's like it's almost like if there was some way to do like a diagonal step, you could make it outside. But yeah, I never ended up finding a way. I don't think there is of like getting out of Shiloh Village, just running out of the
A
walls.
shortcut there would be really cool because getting tellies to Shiloh Village is like lots of requirements, achievement diaries and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And it'd be cool if the achievement diary cape was like the best way to get to the shortcut, and then like you had a really cool way of crafting nats that was only accessible to like people who had an achievement diary cape. At that point, they wouldn't even like want to craft nats, but if they wanted to, like an Ironman perspective, like if you want to craft a lot of nature runes and you have like an achievement diary cape, you can actually go and use that and craft a whole bunch of nats per hour. It'd
yeah,
be a nice aspect of the game. Just like better scaling just in general for the late game would be really cool. Just have a shortcut at the north side of Shiloh, so you could just teleport with your achievement diary cape, go over the shortcut, just boom, nature altar.
I agree. I think that'd be cool. They wouldn't let it pass though, because then it would break Runecrafting, even though it literally
Yep,
wouldn't.
Jagex is their little snowflake cannot be changed in any way. Just same XP rates for years. Just no updates.
Well, we've been going for a while. Here's the thing: we can either wrap this up, or I need to take a pee. So it depends. Do we want to like?
I think honestly, like we've gotten through like everything. I
That's
think
what I'm
like we
thinking.
we talked about clues. We okay, we didn't talk about the mega rare change for the collection log. If that's something you want to quickly go through, I think that's gonna take like a minute.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're just talking about the clues, like separating third age and stuff, or what do you mean?
yeah. So separating
Yeah.
gilded and third age on the collection log, so that you can actually complete like the elite clue tier collection log by just getting like the uniques without having to hit the mega rare table.
People were talking about even separating. So my opinion is, yeah, just separate gilded and third age. Nothing else. Not tuxedo. Not Cape of Skulls and stuff. Like people are thinking Monk's Robe G needs to be on there. I think those are all fine on their individual tiers, but Gilded and Third Age, because they correlate with 3 different tiers of clues, well, most of them, I think they should have a separate Third Age / Gilded table, but nothing else should be on there. Like Ring of Nature and Lava Dragon Mask should still be on Elites, in my opinion, because they're exclusively
Yeah, I
Elites.
agree. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, but I actually really like that idea. I think they're coming out with it, aren't they? Or
I
did
don't
it
know if
just
it's
talked about
polled
it?
yet, or was it poll? I gotta check the poll results for the latest poll. I know G Challenge was PMing me, like he was seething that the corp jar got 90% yes. He just posted me a meme. Ah shit, here we go again. He's
it's
he's
only
actually
one in
gonna
a
go kill corp
it's only
again.
1 in 1,000, right? It's not like
Yeah, that's true. But you know
horrible.
what's also pretty close to that drop rate is a spectral sigil, and we all know
I
what
know.
happened. G Challenge.
Yeah,
That's
that's
one in
true.
1365. That's not even that much rarer than one in 1,000. And yet, G Challenge got absolutely his ass kicked
Fucked.
by that.
I still don't feel that bad for him because it's like people that like spoon harmonize. It's like you like not getting lucky on a staff. It's like most people would just be like, "Why the fuck are you complaining? You have an Ella, you have a pet, you have an arcane." Like, but I still feel bad. But it's like, you know what I feel bad for GE challenges is his fucking nightmare luck. That's
He
terrifying.
got screwed over
That is
hard, dude.
fucked.
That's so unlucky. And then his first unique was a Helm, like the worst Inquisitor piece. You
Yeah,
can't even
that's
use it unless he has a full set,
does he
basically,
only
because
still
the
have
face
one
card is
piece?
just
He went
maxed out.
7 times dry. I heard.
Yep, he still has just the one piece.
Fuck
Well,
that.
and Jar.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, his luck was like complete polar opposite to mine. It's like it just felt I just felt so bad because I talk to him all the time, right, Lynn? And he's always the first person to know about my nightmare uniques. So I'm just like day after day, just like I get like multiple nightmare uniques in back-to-back days, and I'm just PMing him, and he's just like, I just feel so bad because he's so dry at nightmare,
Dude, you don't.
and I'm just like
None of us
spooning drops left,
understand.
right, center.
None of us understand what he's actually going through. Like, cause we can imagine it, but like, I've gotten relatively lucky at Nightmare. I don't have the one thing I want, but like, I have a harm. I have full Inquisitors, but like, when you seriously experience that, like, it's got to be fucking painful watching your luck. It's like being him and seeing your luck and just not having anything because it's such a big hour
I couldn't
grind.
imagine going like 6x rate on like an individual item like a mace. Like, God, dude, that would
Yeah,
be so fucking
yeah,
just
that's a
bad.
nightmare. That's actually fucked. I'm just
Like,
glad I've gotten a harmonized orb, so I'm like, okay, that's out of the. I don't have to worry about that anymore because that's a pretty big item that if you go dry on, that's horrible. But now it's just mace. Like that can be really bad.
yeah, I'll probably get to a point where I'm just like 2000 solo KC at Nightmare, and I'm like, okay, like I'm not gonna get a mace. Like I'll have to get to the point where I just have to give up or keep going for like hundreds and hundreds of hours for something that's like just so meaningless essentially because
Yeah,
it's so niche. It's basically just like a tecton smashing device for me.
yeah,
Because
that's what it is for
if I
most.
really wanted to like make my Sarachnis kills faster, if I was to hunt that pet, I could just use Scythe. Like I'm not looking to kill, you know, like 600,000 Sarachnis. I would only be doing it for the pet perhaps, and maybe like if I had a mace, it would incentivize me to do a third H hunt, so I could finally get that elusive third H piece on my iron. Uh, Maybe having a mace would incentivize me to do that at Sarachnis, but yeah, like I don't really like. It's not an item that I need. Like it's not like a twisted bow.
Yeah,
Not having a twisted bow is a really big deal. If you're trying to be like trying to have a really good Ironman account, it's just so essential early
yeah,
in the
it
game.
is.
It's basically a prereq to doing solo CM. So it's like there's content in the game you can't even do unless you have a twisted bow.
Yep, I
It's
agree.
yeah, if I go that dry on the mace, then like yeah, it's time to pack it up and just go home. Just probably stop killing Nightmare because at that point it's not even worth it. So I hope that fate doesn't befall you. I really want to see the Sarachnis streams. I
Yeah,
really want to see you get that
we
mace.
will. We'll see them. I'll especially if those thralls come out. I'm gonna be loving Nightmare. Won't have to do Wintertod and Wrathrunes anymore either.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just regular Trident is even faster than
Yeah,
Harm. Like, imagine.
that'd be nice actually. It'd make
So
Nightmare feel better.
yeah, that's quickly covering that last topic, just the mega rare change on the collection log. It's just nice. Uh, if people can actually complete their log or try to, but then you see like 10 tuxedo pieces, like good luck completing that.
Yeah.
But
Hey, we're three of
yeah, like
10. I mean, 3 of 10's not that bad. I mean, fuck. Then we're gonna be 9 of 10. Like this is bad.
yeah, going for that, like basically like going for third age at that point, like
Yep.
it's that rare. Uh, but yeah, like I think we can actually like wrap up
Yeah. Let's do it.
pretty
Let's just wrap
close.
it up.
I think I don't know,
Set.
like this cast is almost as long as the first cast. And, like we've done back-to-back days where we've like literally like two casts in a row like in the same week that are longer than the last previous longest cast.
Yep.
Like it's actually crazy how much I was able to talk with you, and I gotta say it was a pleasure being on the
It was
cast. Like
definitely a
even
pleasure, man.
like back-to-back times. Like I really do appreciate talking with you, I really felt like I got that passion out of me. Like I got that passion out of you too. Like I feel like we're both really passionate players at the game, and we can sort of do something special like this, like the Sae Bae cast, where we
Yeah.
can just talk and just let all that passion just let our souls just gush out of
Yep.
how passionate we are for the game, and I think that's really special. I'm glad to have been on the cast because of that.
And I'm glad that you took your time doing this, especially back-to-back days. I know we were both fucking exhausted yesterday, and we're both gonna be exhausted after this. Like,
Oh
we just need
yeah,
to like lay
oh
down
yeah.
after talking so hard. But like,
Uh,
dude, yesterday, so I was there like for the entire like recording of it too, or like the entire stream of it, like premiere. And then somebody asked like, hey, are you going live after this? I'm like, dude, I've been talking and hearing myself talk for like 10 hours today. Like I'm done. Like I'm going to sleep, man. Like
it's actually wild, dude.
it's exhausting. And so like, but I love it. Like I still love the chat interaction. So everyone in the chat right now, like I appreciate you guys, adding your own little chat commentary. And I just love doing these weekly. This was a special week where we did back-to-back days, but
Yeah, I
um,
apologize to the people that have sat through 7 hours of just me rambling,
they're
I know I'm hogging Sae Bae for myself, but dude, Sae is the Bae, and I do really like talking to him, so I felt like, like let's just if he wants to, I'll literally talk to him forever. Like we'll probably not run out of topics.
So listen, we are again. I'm just gonna put the same info in the description. You don't have social media at the moment, but you do have a YouTube and
That's
your
right.
Discord name and number. So I'll put
Yeah,
that in
I'll
there.
just say it again. So Bcguppy, what's the numbers
S-
sign called? Is it pound?
Yeah, you can just call pound or like hashtag.
Bcguppy pound
Yeah.
7189. That's me. I plugged it in the previous cast, and I already had a couple people like they try to add me as a friend. I added them, and some of them PM me like, hey, I really like the cast. It was a banger. Keep it up. And you know what? Those kind words really mean a lot to me. So I do thank the people that did that. Uh, but yeah, again, like if you have any questions for me, just you can always hit me up on Discord. I'm ridiculously active. Like we're talking like 8+ hours a day, at least. Um, I have Discord on my phone too, so it's not like if I do something IRL outside, God forbid going outside in 2021. But yeah, like I'm very active on Discord. So if you just want to ask me anything, like if you want to ask me, you want to talk technical, I really like talking technical about the game. So if you have any questions, then definitely you can just PM me on Discord. You have my name. And yeah, I do have a YouTube, which is like basically fossilized at this point because of lack of activity. But I have been peer pressured by someone to make a Hallowed Sepulchre video, so I might be making that relatively soon, maybe like tomorrow or the next day. We'll see.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Subscribe, boys.
Oh yeah. We'll see if I have any video. I'm not like doing YouTube as a career or anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to harvest subs every day. So you can just subscribe for your own sake. Just if you want to see any of my own content, then yeah, you can just do that on my YouTube. Just subscribe.
All right. BC Guppy. We've already said it, but it's been a massive pleasure, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the audience would agree that this was a very nice and informative two-part cast. Um, and yeah, thank you again, dude. Next week, not positive who's going to be on it, but I'm going to get someone on for next Tuesday. So stay tuned. Be sure to, if you guys listen to these and you like the Sae Bae cast, I would really appreciate if you guys would check out the Spotify, Apple/Google podcast links and just subscribe to those, just so I can, because I have an end where I can see who's subscribing and stuff, and it really helps me to feel like the monthly subscription to put the Sae Bae cast on these platforms would like is going to good use. So show me some love and sub there so I could see the numbers pop up, and it would make me like that. It would make me appreciate the money I'm spending for it. So thank you guys. And yeah, I think we're good to go. Thanks again, BC Guppy.
One final remark.
Go ahead.
So we don't know who the next guest is going to be on the Sae Bae cast, but I'll sure as hell tell you it's not going to be me. So if you're sick and tired of listening to me talk and ramble for possibly 7.5 hours,
We're at
then
7.5.
rejoice because you will be getting a new guest, and it's not going to be me. And unluckily for you, the trilogy will be ended with a duology. There will just be two
Yeah.
parts to me.
But hey,
Maybe I'll be on the cast again
yeah,
next year
think about it.
when
Think
we do
about a
like
year
the
from now,
reunion.
part 3.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool to do.
Yeah. All right, guys.
But yeah, it's not gonna be me on the next cast. So yeah, that's me. I'm done. I'm done, dude. It was a pleasure. It was truly a pleasure, Sae Bae. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you so much, man. And everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.